Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Naruto had Kurama as his Zanpukto and Harem too? Before I start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe my channel and like this video. Go support and follow the Tankerman for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story, link in the description. Let's start this video. Naruto sighs from under his genjutsu as he takes a sip of his sake. Naruto has been following the Kurosakis for an hour now. He's only learned one jutsu this morning, and that was the lightning strike, and has only learned half of the lightning explosion and hasn't fully mastered the lightning surge. I admit he's a fast learner. And the only reason I'm teaching him Raiden-based jutsus is because he has a kinship for them, along with Doton, Futon, Kaiten and Suiton. I know I enabled him to use jutsus, but was it the right thing? By converting over half of his Ryatsu to chakra. Though when I was looking for his elements, I noticed that the paper didn't fully cut itself in half. When the card burst into flames, it wasn't all that big. That means he doesn't have a strong kinship for Futon or Kaiten. I wonder if you got the body flicker down that I showed you last week. Ichigo thinks Naruto, but his thoughts are disrupted by Yuzu. We're never going to get to the top, complains Yuzu. Speak for yourself, this hill is no problem, replies Karen. And please don't let dad hear you say that. You can do it, Yuzu, hang in there. Everyone looks at Issen, who is doing a handstand. Dad's with you, shouts Issen. Now you did it, just ignore him or he'll never stop. Giving guys like him attention only encourages them. You're wrong about that, Karen. I'm automatically encouraged even if you ignore me, shouts Issen as he starts running, only to hit an invisible thanks to Naruto, using the mud wall jutsu and a genjutsu. Man, it's hot even for July. That day was raining and it was also July. You know you really shouldn't talk to yourself, said Naruto after releasing his genjutsu while drinking his sake. This makes the orange-haired teen jump. Naruto releases the genjutsu on his wall. You know, if I hadn't summoned that wall, Karen would have probably kicked the shit out of him. Probably my ass, replies Ichigo. It's always your ass with you, isn't it, asks Naruto. Hey, there's somebody at the top already. Ichigo starts sweating. Wow, she'd have to climb up there pretty early to beat us, said Yuzu. Aha. Although she looks awfully happy for some visiting a grave. She's waving like she knows you, said Yuzu as she looks at Ichigo. No way. Nope, never seen her before. There's something awfully familiar about her. I wonder if I've seen her before. Don't say that. Actually, I think I do know her. She's a girl from my class, maybe I should go talk to her or something. You two head over to mom's grave, okay, said Ichigo before racing off and grabbing Rukia and runs away. Ichigo shouts Yuzu. Aha. And what is that supposed to mean, asks Yuzu. What it means, Yuzu, is that Ichigo has finally grown up and become a man, said Naruto after sneaking up on them and scaring the shit out of the two twins. Don't do that. Do what? Never mind. But why are you here, asks Karen. Well, I decided to visit the graves when I saw you guys. I thought I might say hello. But since your father and Ichigo are gone. So what sort of gentleman would I be if I didn't walk you to the graves, said Naruto with a fake smile before taking a sip of sake. Are you sure you're not an alcoholic, asks Yuzu. Like I told Ichigo and he told you. It's physically impossible for me to get drunk or addicted, answers Naruto before finishing his bottle and pulls out a new one from nowhere. When they reach the graves, Naruto follows them to their mother's grave. As soon as they arrive, Yuzu breaks down crying. One, stop crying, Yuzu, we're 11 years old. We're big kids now, said Karen. Naruto sighs. Everyone has the right to cry or to mourn for the ones that they love that have passed on, said Naruto. Have you lost someone, asks Yuzu with tears in her eyes. Naruto sighs. You don't know how lucky you guys are to have parents. The two twins look at Naruto, giving off confused looks. You see, my mother died giving birth to me and my father was killed in battle. I was alone for nearly 13 years. Where I lived, only 3 people cared about me, everyone else treated me like shit. I was kicked and starved. People spat on the road in front of me. Always sold me rotten food. I've had a hard life. But when I reached 13, I started to find people who were like family to me, said Naruto. The blonde Hokage's mask slips off, showing haunted eyes. The Jinchuriki's eyes are cold and lifeless. His smile slips away. Naruto then puts his mask back on. His eyes become happy as he smiles to the girls. Suddenly Issen appears behind them doing exercises. Now it's finally time for the annual Kurosaki headstone leaping competition. Now let's get started, shouts Issen, only to be kicked in the face by Karen. You win for the most annoying dad of the year. I won already, but I haven't even gotten started, said Issen as he collides with a headstone. Naruto sighs as he pulls out a cigar. Naruto walks off while smoking when Kon comes running down. That's what they named the mod soul in Gaara's body. Kon, what is it, asks Naruto. It's Ichigo, he's fighting against a Shinigami who's come to take Rukia back to Soul Society for execution, shouts Kon. Naruto curses and forms a shadow clone. "Kan, show me the way," said Naruto before running off with Kan. When they find Ichigo and Rukia, Ichigo starts doing hand signs that Naruto recognizes. The fool trying to use the lightning explosion when he hasn't even mastered it or been able to use it properly. Especially when it keeps blowing up in his face. Brayton. Lightning explosion jutsu, shouts. Ichigo channels chakra into the palm of each hand, which starts to spark. The ball then turns into pure lightning. Ichigo combines the balls together and gets ready to attack. Ichigo points the ball at the enemy Shinigami. The ball starts to increase in size. Naruto's eyes widen with fear as the energy within inside of it starts to become unstable. Suddenly the ball explodes in Ichigo's face, burning him and singeing his cloths. Ichigo is sent 20 meters into a tree and snaps it in two. "Awesome kiddo, you can barely use it," shouts the Shinigami. "It'll shows you a real explosion," said Naruto as he appears in front of him forming the same jutsu. Naruto unleashes the attack. The ball collides with the Shinigami's chest and explodes, ripping apart his cloths and burning him. The Shinigami is sent 50 meters away. "Ichigo, I told you. You are not ready to use the jutsu," said Naruto as he walks over to his student. Ichigo grumbles as he stands. "Anyway, who was that guy?" "His name is Saidu Kichiru. He's a member of the stealth force," said Rukia. The man known as Saidu grumbles as he walks over. Suddenly Rukia's cell starts ringing. Naruto curses. "My shadow clone's gone. Something's wrong. Ichigo, your sisters are in danger," shouts Naruto as he goes up in flames. Ichigo curses as he sheaths his Zanpukto and follows. Kan, Rukia and Saidu follow as well. Meanwhile at the cemetery, Eren stares at a form in front of her. "Eren, you're scaring me," shouts Yuzu. "I've finally found you," said a hollow's voice. "Yuzu, where's Dad?" "He's talking to the cemetery director." "Great, just when we need him the most he's gone." "I'm going to have to keep you coming. If I do, the bigger the catch." The hollow crushes Karen under his foot. After she pushed Yuzu out of the way, Karen yells in pain. Yuzu stars in shock when something wraps around her body. Yuzu screams as something crushes her tiny form. "I will devour you," said the hollow before opening its mouth and preparing to eat Yuzu. Back with the others, Naruto runs through the thick forest, releasing his weights and seals. Naruto runs for his life, pumping chakra his and the Kyuubi's into his feet. The blonde pumps chakra throughout his entire body. The blonde start running on all fours, increasing his speed dramatically. Naruto bursts out of the forest and collides with the massive form of the hollow. The hollow falls onto its side, releasing the two girls. Naruto pants as he straightens himself up. The blonde resets his seals and waits before staring at the hollow. The hollow stands. Naruto gets a good look at the hollow. The hollow is big with 3 fingers and toes on each leg and foot, with thick spiked fur all over its body with a but ugly mask. Naruto stares down the hollow before using the body flicker jutsu to grab both Karen and Yuzu. Naruto places them behind him and glares at the beast. "You dare attack the innocent, then you shall pay with your life," said Naruto with a calm, collect voice. The blonde pulls out 2 kunai and holds one in each hand. Naruto runs forward and swings the kunai in his right and forces the hollow to jump back. The hollow laughs as it sends its spiked fur flying at Naruto. Naruto jumps back as the fur stabs the ground. It suddenly starts to rain for no reason. "Your soul smells especially tasty. So I'll devour you," shouts the hollow as it sends its fur after Naruto. The blonde performs some quick one-hand signs in both hands. "Oten. Mud wall, Mokuten. Tree barrier," whispers Naruto. Trees shoot out of the ground forming a line. Naruto then throws up mud from his mouth. The mud hardens in the line of trees, making the wall stronger. The fur hits the mud tree wall and stops in its tracks. The hollow howls in anger as it sends its fur flying at the 6th Hokage. Naruto smirks as he rolls to the side. But fur flies from under the ground and impales Naruto through the left shoulder. Naruto growls in pain. The hollow removes its fur but becomes surprised when Naruto's wound instantly heals. "You have regeneration. Strange for a human to have the ability of a hollow. And such strange kiddo," said the hollow before trying to crush Naruto. The blonde quickly grabs the 2 girls and jumps back. Naruto lands on the stairs as Ichigo, Rukia, Saidu and Kan come running down. Naruto hands Yuzu and Karen to Kan. "Kan, take Yuzu and Karen and go," demands Naruto. Kan nods and runs off at superhuman speed. "Whoa, that's an ugly one," said Saidu. Ichigo stares at the hollow and there is woman in front of it. Ichigo stares in shock at her. And he starts having flashbacks from the day his mother died. "That's not possible. It's her. She's the girl I saw that day 6 years ago. The one down by the river." 6 years ago? Ichigo, do you mean? "That's right. She's the one. I tried to stop her from jumping into the river. But when I finally came to, she was gone. And my mother, she was dead. 6 years ago. That's a long time. And there have been so many. Can honestly expect me to remember all the souls I've eaten. Now can you?" asks the hollow through the girl. Suddenly her head splits open and a ball comes out. A red line shoots out from the top and attaches itself to the top of the hollow's head. The girl becomes a lure. It's Grand Fisher. That's the code name we've given him. He keeps himself invisible and disguises the lure growing out of his head as a human. Anyone who sees the lure he knows has higher Iatsu, spiritual pressure. He then immediately attacks and devours them, thus gaining all of their power. For over 50 years this hollow has evaded every Shinigami that's gone after him. We even know his favorite victims are women, said Rukia. Ichigo stares at her in disbelief. So does that mean my mother was actually killed by? Asks Ichigo. Rukia nods her head yes. Ichigo becomes tense. Impressive, you have been lucky, little boy. You saw my lure and yet you lived. Perhaps it was my intention to eat you on the spot for your Reiatsu. But there's something about the women. They're just so sweet and lovely for me to pass up, said Grand Fisher before he starts laughing. Naruto stands there hanging on to every word. The Kyuubi's chakra starts to form around him. His killer intent hangs in the air. Ichigo, Rukia and Saidu fall to the ground gasping for air. Naruto's chakra causes the ground to shake and split apart. You scum. How dare you kill those that have the right to live? You are nothing but scum, you bastard, shouts Naruto with his voice fluctuating between normal and demonic. Everyone stares as the Kyuubi's chakra turns his eyes blood red with black cat-like slits for pupils. The red chakra forms around both hands, causing his nails to become 8 centimeters long. For killing my student's mother. I shall kill you myself, shouts the demonic Naruto. The blonde rushes forward as his hair becomes chestnut brown with streaks of blood red. Naruto swings his claws as Grand Fisher sends his spiked fur at the Rakudame Hokage. Naruto rips them to shreds and cuts of the hollow's arm, making it howl in pain. Naruto goes to strike again, but Ichigo gets in his way. Naruto, he is mine. I have to do this for my mother, said Ichigo. Naruto nods as he returns to normal. His hair turns back to blonde, but it has blood red streaks through it. Naruto's eyes return to normal as well as his nails. Fine, but if you're in any trouble then I'm helping, no questions asked, replies Naruto. Ichigo nods and draws his Zanpukto. Ichigo runs at Grand Fisher, who attacks with his spiked fur. Ichigo yells as he runs forward with his blade to the side. Grand Fisher laughs at Ichigo. Ichigo yells with a frown on his face. Ichigo dodges the spiked fur. Ichigo swings his Zanpukto at Grand Fisher once he's in range. Grand Fisher laughs as he jumps back. But Grand Fisher disappears and appears behind Ichigo. You're too slow, human, said Grand Fisher. He opens his mouth preparing to eat Ichigo. But the orange-haired Shinigami body flickers behind him and swings his Zanpukto. Naruto smirks. Grand Fisher laughs and disappears again. Spiked fur starts flying at Ichigo, who starts running from it. If I can send electricity down one of his spikes, it will be sure to electrocute him. And since it's raining, it will increase the strength. That was brave of you, Shinigami. Trying to take me all by yourself, shouts Grand Fisher as he lets his fur fly. Ichigo smirks and prepares the hand signs for the lightning strike jutsu. Ichigo jumps back as the spikes hit the ground. Raiden. Lightning strike jutsu, whispers Ichigo. Lightning hits his arm. Ichigo points his fingers at Grand Fisher fur before launching 5 lightning bolts. The lightning bolts each hit a piece of fur and sends electricity surging through them. The electricity traces back to Grand Fisher and electrocutes him. Grand Fisher screams, howls with pain. You pretty good, Shinigami. But incredibly stupid. Shut up, shouts Ichigo before having flashbacks of his mother lying in a pool of her own blood dead. I don't know how long Yuzu grieved after our mother died. And I can only imagine how lonely Karen must have felt without her. It's a Shinigami's job to protect the innocent. And I have also made it my job to protect them. And that means it's my duty to destroy you, shouts Ichigo as he runs forward with his Zanpukto to the side. Ichigo swings his Zanpukto, but Grand Fisher disappears. Ah, foolish mortal, you won't win, states Grand Fisher, only for Ichigo to body flicker behind him and cut of a patch of his fur. Grand Fisher laughs as he impales Ichigo on his spiked fur. How lucky do you think you can get? Jumping into the lion's den. But your luck has run out, maggot. Grand Fisher's nails turn into long claws. Grand Fisher releases Ichigo from his fur before impaling him on his claws. Ichigo yells in pain. Blood falls to the ground. Blood drips from the orange-haired teen's mouth. That'll teach you to be so reckless, amateur. Now you shall die by the great Grand Fisher. The hollow laughs as it rips out its claws from Ichigo's body. Ichigo leans on his Zanpukto. Ichigo shouts Rukia as she prepares a Kidu spell. Back off. This is my fight. And I'll fight it my way, no matter what it takes. No matter the cost. And if I die, I'm going to finish this, declares Ichigo. Naruto sighs. Then die you will. Because you allow your passion and your rage to distract you from your purpose. Dulling your sword. You flail wildly. But your physical skills are not enough to defeat me. And now I'll show you why your mind is not strong enough to fight me either. Behold, shouts Grand Fisher. His lure transforms back into that girl as he grabs her head. When he removes his hand, the lure looks just like Ichigo's mother. Even for the most cold-blooded Shinigami has one person who he can never kill. That is a fact which you cannot deny. By learning who that person is, I have avoided every Shinigami who has come before you for over 50 years. And I have learned for you this is that one person, said Grand Fisher. Do you remember me? Ichigo asks Ichigo's mother. Rukia goes to help but Naruto stops her. Rukia, no. Ichigo must protect his honor. If you help now he'll probably win, but he will have lost his honor forever. There are two different kinds of battles always distinguished between these two. There is the battle to protect innocent life. And there is the battle to preserve one's honor. I understand this is a battle to preserve his honor. My captain once said the same thing. So I must not interfere no matter how much I want to lend him my strength. He must be a great man, said Naruto with a bored look before taking a sip of sake for absolutely no reason. Ichigo, before you attack. You must remember that thing is not your mother, just an illusion. Your real mother died 6 years ago, shouts Naruto. Ichigo nods as he runs forward with his Zanpukto. So Shinigami, do you think you can raise your sword against your own mother? Bastard, how dare you defile her memory, shouts Ichigo. Suddenly his Ryatsu flies 50 feet into the air. Ichigo runs forward. Grand Fisher puts the image of his mother in the road, making him stop mid-swing. Grand Fisher laughs and impales him on his fur. Ichigo coughs up blood. Moron. That is not your mother, like I said, it's just an image. Throw away all your emotions, Ichigo. I know you love your mother, but you must do this. A ninja saying, if you withdraw and you will age, if you hesitate then you will certainly die. Ichigo nods and runs forward again, swinging his Zanpukto without hesitations. Grand Fisher puts his mother in the road, but Ichigo slices the image in two. The image reverts back to its original form as Ichigo slices of the lure. Naruto smirks as he prepares to finish the hollow off. Grand Fisher smirks as he spots Kon from the trees holding Yuzu and Karen. Grand Fisher sends its spiked fur at the three. Kon yells. Ichigo's eyes widen with shock as he body flickers in the path of the spikes. Ichigo is impaled on the fur. His blood spits everywhere. Naruto curses as he body flickers over. Ichigo slices the fur in half before ripping it out of his body. Grand Fisher smirks. I have to tell you something, out of all the Shinigami that have come after me, you are by far the most idiotic and weakest Shinigami of them all, shouts Grand Fisher as he prepares to kill Ichigo. But Naruto blocks his claw. WWW, what are you doing, asks Ichigo. I said I'd let you handle this. But if you were in trouble I'd help out. You are still inexperienced, said Naruto as he summons a blade made of water out of thin air. Hidden waterfall secret technique. Sort of draining, whispers Naruto before he rips off the Hollow's arm before going in for the kill. The Hollow smirks as a black portal opens up behind him. I'll let you have this little battle for now. But next time we meet I will kill you, said Grand Fisher before disappearing into the portal. The sword disappears as Naruto walks back over to Ichigo. Unknown to anyone, Naruto has a genjutsu over his arms as he does some hand signs. A jutsu he calls life illusion. Dead memories. Ichigo stares at Naruto when a bright light consumes him. In a bright room there stands Ichigo's dead mother. Ichigo starts having flashbacks from his childhood. Ichigo. My son. I'm very proud of you, your father, Karen and Yuzu. I am so lucky to have had those years with all of you. And I know because of the love that all of you share. You'll always be the family together and strong even without me. Ichigo, live on my son, live with strength and kindness. And never lose that smile. The smile you always wore when you looked at me. Ichigo sees a flashback of himself with a giant goofy smile as he runs to his mum as a 5-year-old. Ichigo, thank you for loving me. Those were the thoughts I had when I died. Thank you all, said Ichigo's mother as she disappears. Naruto smirks. So those were her last memories, interesting, thinks the blonde. So those were her last memories, said Ichigo as he leans on his sword trying to stay conscious. Come back, you coward, shouts Ichigo to Grand Fisher, wanting to finish him off. Ichigo, stop, that's enough, you saved us all, said Rukia. It will never be enough till I killed him and avenged my mother, shouts Ichigo as he slips into unconsciousness. Naruto runs over and checks his pulse. He slipped into a state of half conscious and half into a coma. We need to get him back to the house so I can treat his injuries, said Naruto. Rukia nods. Kon runs out with both girls under his arms. Kon, let's go, said Naruto as he picks up Ichigo and Rukia, then he starts running. Kon follows as the two run through Karakura at high speed. To everyone else they are nothing but a blur. 2 weeks after the event of Grand Fisher, Ichigo and Naruto have been training hard. Naruto has been trying to build Ichigo's library of Doten, Suiton and Raiten-based jutsus, along with a few genjutsu and taijutsu moves. So far he's learnt bursting water collision waves, liquid bullet, water encampment wall, mud wall, earth dragon bombs, mud flow river, lightning dragon bombs. Young Lightning, an early version of the lightning blade. He's completely learned lightning explosion and lightning surge. He's learned demonic illusion, hell's fire and hell's viewing, along with tree binding death. Ichigo has refined his sword fighting skills as well. He's learned Konoha whirlwind and the initial lotus, but that's all. Though with chakra control exercises he's done tree climbing, kunai balancing and water walking. And he has Anbu level chakra and Jounin chakra control, along with body flicker and leaf shushin. Naruto sighs as he walks along Ichigo to school. Naruto wears a black t-shirt with a picture of a nine-tailed fox on the back. He wears navy blue baggy jeans. He has a chain attached to the cuff of them with rips around the ankles. His hair has those blood red streaks through them. His eyes are cerulean blue with blood red cat-like slits for pupils. Ichigo, you've come along well these past 2 weeks since I've took you out of school. So I let you have a break today and tomorrow. But then I'll start teaching you some more taijutsu and a kenjutsu style called the Hell's Fox stance. It's based on high speed, which I'll help you build up. And strong blows. But right now if I was to rank you I'd say you're no longer an academy student but a genin. Hi. And thank you, replies Ichigo. By the way, I'm taking over your class today, said Naruto with a sadistic grin. Ichigo sighs as the two walk into the classroom. Orihime appears in front of them with her arms crossed. And patting both her shoulders going bwahahaha. Naruto sweat drops as he drinks some sake. Ichigo gives of a paled expression, along with the expression of a demented idiot. Huh. Ichigo, you barely reacted at all. Don't you know where it's from at all? Actually, by the look on his face. I'd say he reacted rather a bit, said Naruto from behind the high school girl. This scares her. Naruto sighs as he drinks his sake. Ah, Spirit Hunter, said a shocked Ichigo after coming around. Yeah, isn't that show just the best? Come on Ichigo, join in with me, said Orihime as she prepares to do against. But Totsuki grabs her arms yelling bonsai. Oh hey Totsuki, what's the matter? Come on, you can bwahahaha with me, said Totsuki as she pushes Orihime away. Ichigo gives of a stupefied expression. Then he hears voice from outside. Hey Ichigo, Kigo here. And Mizuru. Ichigo turns around and there's Kigo. Mizuru and Chad with their hands on their shoulders crossed. Said Chad. Bwahahaha. Don't tell me everyone's doing it, asks Naruto from behind the three. This scares Kigo and Mizuru, but Chad does nothing. Yo Chad, said Naruto waving to him. How you going, asks Chad. I'm fine, big guy. Besides, I heard you ranked 14th on your maths test 2 weeks ago. Replies Chad, meaning yes. So you going, asks Kigo. No. What do you mean? It's the best TV show on. And it's going to be broadcasted live in Karakura. You live in this town, dude. You have to be dead to miss it, said Kigo trying to get Ichigo to go. Then that makes me a zombie. Get lost, said Ichigo showing Kigo away. But I already went to the trouble of asking Rukia to go, said Kigo. Rukia stands over to the side and does a curtsy. Hi Ichigo. Naruto sweat drops from the corner under his genjutsu again. Ichigo sweat drops as well. One Rukia. Bwahahaha, said Kigo doing it again. Naruto forms a second sweat drop. No, I'd be too embarrassed to do it, replies Rukia with that goody two shoes act. Naruto forms a third sweat drop and a fourth and fifth as everyone start doing it as well. On Rukia. Why, she's becoming quite the little actress, thinks both Ichigo and Naruto. Later that night. Ichigo sighs from his spot in the crowd with Naruto. Waiting for the Spirit Hunter to arrive. Good evening everyone, this week's episode of Spirit Hunter is brought to you live from an abandoned hospital in the town of Karakura. Where the tortured screams of the dead can be heard echoing through the halls, shouts a male announcer. Who knows what horrifying sights we'll witness here, said a female announcer. Now folks, let's give up a warm welcoming for this century's primary spiritualist and messenger from hell. Mr. Don Kananji, shouts the male announcer as he points into the night sky at a helicopter. Everyone cheers except Naruto and Ichigo. As a guy falls from the helicopter wearing a cape with a strange hairdo and a crazy hat. The spirit are always with you, shouts the man known as Don Kananji. As a parachute shoots out from his back. The crowd cheers as Don Kananji lands on the ground. And how is everyone tonight? Hold on to your seats, baby. It's time once again to hear the spirits cry. So tell us what you think of this place, asks the female announcer. The stench of the spirit world hangs in the air around us. I'd have to say that. It smells like bad spirits, shouts the crowd. Naruto slaps his forehead. What a lame catchphrase, Naruto mutters under his breath. Next thing, Don Kananji does the whole wahahaha along with everyone else except Naruto and Ichigo, who both sigh. Suddenly smoke rises around Don Kananji as the lights turn off. Okay everyone, we're cutting to commercial, said a man. Man, I hate stupid shows about spirits, thinks the orange-haired male teen. The man starts to direct people to another area. Ichigo sighs as he walks with Naruto. The blonde-haired red-streaked Jinchuriki is wearing a black t-shirt. With baggy black cargo pants. Orihime runs over to Ichigo from behind wearing a long blue dress. Ichigo. I'm sorry about the other day. What do you mean? It's just Tatsuki was telling me the other day that you really can't stand TV shows like this one, and I had no idea. Don't worry, it's cool. It's really no big deal, replies Ichigo. The orange-haired male turns around to see Mizuru and Kigo doing the whole bwahahaha thing, making Ichigo sweat drop. Look at those two. They know it drives me nuts, but they still do, said Ichigo with a sigh. But you still showed up, why is that, asks Orihime with her hands behind her back. Well, my dad and my little sister go out of their minds for Spirit Hunter, answers Ichigo, before pointing to Issen and Yuzu who are doing the bwahahaha thing. So that's why you're here. Eso couldn't just let them come alone, you know. You have such a good heart, Ichigo. Why isn't that normal? Oh no, it's normal, very normal, replies Orihime. Yo, said Naruto from behind her. Needless to say, this doesn't seem to scare the girl. Naruto hangs his head in defeat before drinking some sake. Hey Orihime, we're going to head on without you, shouts Tatsuki. Oh hey. Wait on Tatsuki. Saya, said Orihime before running off. Oh yeah, sure, I'm normal. But what about the rest of these weirdos, what's their excuse? Ichigo, what's wrong, asks Rukia from behind him. Ichigo turns around to see Rukia wearing a green dress going bwahahaha. Ichigo sweat drops. You too. Hey, what's with the serious look? Fair. As long as you're here you might as well try to have some fun. Shut up, him always like this. Between all of your school work and duties as a Shinigami you must be exhausted. And there will be hard battles along the road ahead. Use tonight to enjoy yourself a little. What are you? By the way, tell me, what is this festival all about anyway? You mean you showed up here without knowing, shouts Ichigo. Seriously, you think there'd be any spirits in an old deserted hospital? Naruto sighs as he is left out of the conversation. What are you getting at? Well, I mean, if there were any, you Shinigami would have helped them clean up. Well, not necessarily. Jabaku spirits are often tied to places like this, or usually where they died. Jabaku spirits are spirits that dwell within the earth and are often very hard for Shinigami to find. There's only one reason a Jabaku spirit would reveal itself: when it notices humans invading its territory, said Rukia. Meanwhile, during her explanation, a man is walking over with a film camera. When suddenly howling yelling is heard. Out of everyone there, only 9 people hear the noise. Naruto, Chad, Rukia, Ichigo, Orihime, Karen, Tatsuki and Don Kananji. That's the cry of a Jabaku, so there is one here. Wait a sec, how do you know that? Sounds not a hollow, asks Ichigo when the form of a spirit appears. There are certain paths which hollows come into being. One path is when a Jabaku spirit with its fierce attachment to the world is left alone and becomes a hollow. Much like this spirit here, said Rukia as a man appears with a chain wrapped around his body and a semi-hole in his chest. So then he's yes, a soul on the verge of becoming a hollow. A demi-hollow. The soul yells. Yeah, well, he sure feels like a hollow to me. Except he's not wearing one of those white masks. And the hole in his chest hasn't opened all the way. The hole in the hollow's chest shows that the heart has been lost, leaving nothing but raw instinct. The white skull-shaped mask is all that shields the hollow, that keeps those bared instincts from the outside world. Neither necessary if the heart is still intact. Upon death, the chain of fate is snapped from the body. Usually the soul waits for a Shinigami, but if they have regrets in this world, they become bound to the source of their pain, said Rukia, showing one of her sucky little drawing. Ichigo gives of a nod, a hint of seriousness in his face. While Naruto drinks. Rukia then gives of a confused angry face. Rukia then goes to hit the two, but they dodge. Anyway. This means this demi-hollow heart is chained to the hospital. This hospital belongs to BM, not giving it up for anyone. Don't even think about coming in here. Well, whatever he is, he sure sounds like a dumbass. Coming back from commercial, said a voice. Oh, I think the show's about to get started, said Rukia. The student and the teacher sigh at their friend. The spirits are always with you. Wahahaha, shouts Don Kananji. Wahahaha, shouts the crowd including Rukia. Hey, knock it off, shouts Ichigo. Don't worry, it takes months for a spirit to turn into a hollow, replies Rukia. Now has come the time once again for Don Kananji to take the stage, shouts the male announcer. Can't you just feel the excitement, asks the female announcer. We don't want the spirit to become agitated with this many people around. We'll do the conso after the show. Yeah, but spirits go through so much pain when they transform into hollows that they fill the night with terrible screaming. I mean, does it look like that demi-hollow is suffering to you? And who the hell are you? You think you can come in here and defile my hospital, asks the Jabaku spirit. Don looks at the spirit. And what's with the crazy friggin' head? My guess would be no, replies Ichigo. See. Unless someone deliberately messes with that opening in his chest, we're fine. I'd say we've got another 6 months. Meanwhile, Don is going on about something as he raises a rod into the air. Don then plunges the end of the rod into the soul's hole, making it scream. Naruto curses while Ichigo and Rukia turn around. "Alright, let's send you over to the other side, baby," said Dawn as he starts rotating the rod, making the spirit yell even more. "Wow, there it is folks, the super spirit gained an unusually move for him this far in the game," shouts the male announcer as the crowd cheers. "What the hell does that dumbass think he's doing?" asks Naruto. "The fool. All he's doing is speeding up the creation of a hollow," said Rukia as the soul yells even more. Ichigo curses and starts running over to Dawn. "Come on, knock it off," shouts an angry Ichigo. Suddenly security appears behind him and grabs Ichigo. Naruto curses and runs over. Rukia runs over as well with the soul glove. Security tackles Rukia and goes for Naruto. The demon vessel smirks and rolls out of the way. The spirit yells, causing Orihime and Karen to cover their ears while Chad becomes shocked. Suddenly the chain of fate snaps. "Get your hands off of me," shouts Ichigo as the end of the cane goes through his forehead and forces out his soul. Ichigo's body goes limp. Behind Ichigo are Kisuke Urahara and his shop helpers. "Hello. Mr. Hat and Clogs. Don't just stand there, get to business," said Kisuke. Ichigo nods and runs off. Naruto knocks out the security guards and runs as well. "Hey, what's wrong?" asked the guards as they hold Ichigo's body. "Out of the way," said the giant man known as Tessai Tsukubishi. Tessai picks up Ichigo's body and leaves. "Stop it," shouts Ichigo as he runs over to Dawn, who looks at him and keeps rotating. Ichigo pushes him out of the way, sending him flying. "Holy moly, Dawn Kananji has just been sent flying," shouts the male announcer. "What's with you, kid?" asks Dawn. "Well then I guess you can see me too." "Of course I can, I'm the century spiritualist." "Oh, I get it, you're dead, but you're a fan, aren't you?" "I would shut up, dude, before he kills you," said Naruto from behind Dawn, making him jump. Suddenly the spirit starts shouting and yelling. "Oh no, don't tell me I'm too late." Suddenly the Jibaku spirit is sucked into the ground and disappears with an explosion. He's gone. Yeah. Mission accomplished, baby. "There it is folks, another perfect soul purification," shouts the male announcer while Ichigo stares in shock. Naruto just takes a sip of his sake while still on guard. Rukia flips open her cell and starts pressing buttons. The moment a demi-hollow becomes a hollow, it disperses and reforms as a hollow somewhere else. And if its heart was bound to something here in this hospital, Rukia then looks into the sky at the moon. As a ball of blue light floats downwards. "Yeah, thank you," said Dawn. "Ichigo, Naruto, look out above you," shouts Rukia. Dawn, Naruto and Ichigo look into the sky as the body of a hollow starts to form. With its head, the head of the Jibaku. The Jibaku screams as a white liquid shoots out from its mouth, ears, nose and eyes, forming into a white skull mask. That looks like a frog's head. The entire hollow looks like a giant frog. The hollow howls. "What is it?" asks Dawn. "A hollow. I hope you're ready," said Naruto. "I can sense it. It has the stench of a super deadly dangerous spirit. Now I understand." Meanwhile Ichigo is sweat dropping. While Naruto drinks ache. "You that other bad spirit's evil lords, and you've come here seeking vengeance," said Dawn. Naruto hits him upside the head. "Dumbass, you're not even close. The pain must devour," said the hollow. Ichigo goes to attack, but Dawn grabs his shoulder and throws him backwards. "Hold on. One boy canola, come on you bad spirit," shouts Dawn as he twirls his rod before holding in front with both hands. Everyone gasps in awe. Dawn Kananji, the century spiritualist, is ready. "I'll devour you," shouts the hollow as it runs at Dawn, only to hit a wall of mud head first. Thanks to Naruto, who stands to the side spitting out mud. "I hate that muddy taste," mutters Naruto. The hollow howls as it breaks through the wall to eat Dawn. Ichigo draws his Zanpukto and blocks. Before throwing the hollow backwards into the ground. "Kid, why didn't you run?" "Hey look, you're the one who should be running." "Tommy, run." "What are you saying?" The hollow stands and howls. Ichigo and the hollow exchanges blow for blow. "Just as I thought, wonderful, but he's got his work cut out for him, let's see how he dozes," said Kisuke. The hollow charges at Dawn. The hollow leaps, but Ichigo grabs Dawn and pulls him out of the way. The hollow collides with a wall and gets stuck. "The golden chance," said Dawn as he prepares to attack, but Naruto grabs him. "Ichigo will have a much better chance to fight him inside with jutsus. That way these people won't get hurt," said Naruto. Ichigo nods and the two run into the hospital with Dawn being dragged behind. The hollow follows. "Ichigo, I have an idea, let's flood the place," said Naruto with a smirk before doing a stream of hand signs. "Oten. Mud barrier jutsu," whispers Naruto. Mud shoots out of the ground around them and forms into a giant fortress wall around the hospital, making sure nothing can get in or out. Except by the roof. Ichigo and Naruto then start doing hand signs together. The two run up to the room. "Dawn, you better hold on," said Naruto. Dawn grabs onto Naruto as the two finishes their hand signs. Just as the hollow bursts through the bottom of the roof and appears in front of them. Dawn forms lightning in his hands. "It's my turn." Dawn Kananji ultimate attack. "Cannonball," shouts Dawn, forming a blue ball in his hand. The ball starts to move slowly about before exploding in front of the hollow, sending it flying through a wall. Naruto sighs as he and Ichigo prepare their attack. Naruto grabs Dawn and uses some ninja wire to tie the fool to his back. Suiton. Bursting water colossal waves shouts the two before breathing in and pour water from their bellies. The water starts to fill the entire hospital. Water flows over the sides of the walls. Naruto and Ichigo stand atop the water thanks to water walking exercise. Dawn stares in shock from his spot on Naruto's back. The hollow struggle for dear life as it is sent to the bottom floor of the hospital. The windows shatter and the door breaks open. The pressure of the water starts to force the mud wall to crack. Water starts to leak from 50 cracks. Everyone stares as a giant hole bursts open. Suddenly another wall shoots out of the ground in front of the ground and back around the hospital containing the water once again. As the second fortress wall appears. The water pressure is unable to break the second wall. The hollow howls gurgles underwater. Naruto looks around with his eyes and spies a water tower. Naruto stops pouring water same as Ichigo. Ichigo jump onto the water tower said Naruto while performing the hand signs for lightning strike. Ichigo nods and the two jump onto the tower. Brayton. Lightning strike whispers Naruto lightning hits his arm. Naruto then sends 5 lightning bolts at the water. The lightning bolt sends electricity channeling throughout the water. Explosions are heard all around the hospital. This causes the first wall to break. The second wall also starts to break apart. The crowd screams as they start running back. A third wall shoots out like the first two to stop the water. The hollow screams in pain as it is electrocuted. The water starts to evaporate. The hollow rises from the floor slowly and starts jumping back to the roof. It's not over, mutters Naruto as the hollow appears. Curse humans and Shinigami. I'll devour you, shouts hollow. Naruto smirks as looks at Ichigo who nods. Ichigo runs forward and slices off the hollow's arm before using the leaf whirlwind to send it rolling into a fence. Ichigo runs after it yelling face the wrath of my blade. Ichigo performs a downward swing and cleans the hollow's mask in two. The mask disappears showing the spirit from before Dawn collapses onto his knees. He's from before. That's right, jackass. When the chain connected to a soul's hole is broken, they become a hollow, said Naruto. So you mean that I? Yes, replies Naruto. What have I been doing all this time? I thought that I was showing the kids a hero. Showing them courage. When all this time I was doing nothing, Naruto sighs. When the cheering of a crowd is heard. Listen up, hero, they're waiting for you. I've seen your show a couple of times to tell that kids look up to you. So go to them. Dawn walks over to the ledge and yells mission accomplished while doing the bwahahaha. Dawn Kananji's spiritual purification has worked, shouts the male announcer. The entire crowd follows with the bwahahaha thing. Naruto walks over and sweat drops. Before he freaks out as everyone looks at him as electricity surges around his right arm. Naruto sighs before performing some hand signs. Memory erase jutsu, whispers Naruto as he walks over and erases the crowd's memory of him standing there and anything else about him today and about Ichigo. All except Rukia and Dawn, and surprisingly the only ones it doesn't work on are Karen, Chad and Orihime. Dawn, next time please don't ever do that against. Warns Naruto as he disappears in a swirl of purple flames. The flames appear around the entire area as the wall crumbles to nothingness from under a genjutsu Naruto used during his memory erase jutsu. Kid. That was a magnificent battle. I stand in awe at your courage and am amazed by your power. I hope you lend me that strength in the future, said Dawn holding out his hand. Ichigo grabs it and smirks. Yeah, sure, once in a while. Thank you, and from now on you'll be my #1 pupil, said Dawn. Ichigo pales, giving of a horrified look. That's a demotion, shouts Ichigo. Naruto sighs from his spot between Rukia and Ichigo. Ichigo to his left and Rukia to his right. To the right of Rukia are Totsuki and Orihime. To Ichigo's left are Chad, Kigo and Mizuro. The 8 stand in the principal's office with one of the school's gym teachers. This is an outrage, don't you see the damage you kids and teacher have done, yells the teacher. It seems I couldn't erase all the memories. Including the ones that were watching from home, thinks Naruto with a bored look. This ridiculous show is broadcasted on national television yesterday, just look, said the teacher as he turns on a TV, and there's Dawn Kananji goes bwahahaha. And 2 of our students and 1 teacher for the entire world to see. The TV shows Ichigo and Rukia being caught by the guards while Naruto rolls out of the way. Rukia, Ichigo and Naruto. This is very serious. Never in the history of this school has any student or teacher ever dishonored this institution by creating an act of disobedience, shouts the teacher while grabbing Ichigo by the collar. Sir, I can understand why you're angry with Ichigo, Rukia and Naruto, acting like a bunch of stupid idiots. But why are Orihime and I here when we didn't have anything to do with this? You were there with them the whole time this was going on. That was just a coincidence, we were just walking by and got dragged into this. Orihime gives of a paled look as Ichigo glares at Totsuki. Great, thanks a lot, I'll remember this the next time you need someone to bail you out. Meanwhile, Naruto has already left during all the commotion, leaving a piece of paper on Ichigo's shirt. The gym teacher looks around for him. Hey, where'd the 8th go, asks the gym teacher as he pulls the sign off and reads it out loud. Since you were all distracted, I left. Saya jackass, shouts the teacher. He starts to fume and shout to the roof. Orihime and Totsuki take the opportunity to leave. During this, the 4 boys and Rukia creep over to the window. Well sir, Orihime and I are going back to class. The teacher closes his eyes and yells. No you don't, you're staying here, he shouts. As Ichigo, Chad, Kigo, Mizuru and Rukia jump out the window and start running. By the time he looks back, they're all gone. Get back here. Sir, what do we do, asks the teacher. Don't know. But next time you see Ichigo and Naruto, could you get their autographs for me, asks the principal. Has everyone gone mad, asks the teacher with tears. The 7 students walk together laughing. So why's everyone laughing about, asks Naruto out of nowhere from behind. This scares all but Ichigo, Chad and Orihime. Would you stop doing that, yells Mizuru, Kigo, Rukia and Totsuki. Doing what? Never mind, replies the 4 in defeat. Suddenly Rukia's cell starts ringing. Naruto, Ichigo and Rukia stare at it as she pulls it out. Ichigo, come on, said Rukia as she runs off, dragging Ichigo with her. Naruto sighs and disperses into shadows. I never noticed it before, but those guys like each other. But the two. Ichigo stands in his Shinigami form looking at a soul. Just as Naruto appears. What's the matter, there's no stinking hollow here. I'm strange, I sense a strange amount of Ryatsu. Since being around Ichigo for so long, I've been able to sense spiritual pressure. But this one is different. I sense a hollow but someone else. And I can tell by the way the air is moving right now that someone or something shot an arrow, said Naruto. I've been around objects that move through the air to know that they always leave the air moving in a strange way. That's really weird, it was a strong signal, but it's gone without a trace. Hey you spirit guy, you didn't recently cut the head off of A, asks Ichigo, but before he can finish Naruto whacks him upside the head. Dumbass, does he look like a Shinigami? Besides, he's a normal soul. And another thing, weren't you just listening to me? To tell you the truth, I wasn't. Naruto sighs as he steps on Ichigo's foot before elbowing his student in the ribs. Did you see anything? Asks Naruto. I did, I saw this scary big looking bug. I almost peed my pants. I don't care about your problems. I want to know what happened to it. Naruto then sues the sexy jutsu while putting up a genjutsu around him. So that only the soul can see him or her. Pretty please, asked Naruto in his sexy jutsu form. With smoke around him. He has a slender body with long braided pigtails. Not really, I had my eyes closed the entire time, replies the soul as it jumps at Naruto, who retransforms and whacks him upside the head. Well, anytime it's Konso time. Ichigo walks over, his Zanpukto raised in the air. What's Konso? No wait, get away from me with that sword, shouts the soul. As a bright light fills the area. After break, everyone stands to see who ranked the top 50 in the class on some tests. Third in the class at Totsuki, and there at number 3 is Orihime. Totsuki pats her head, pretty smart for a girl, Orihime. This sucks, Orihime has both brains and boobs. It's just not fair, said Michiru. Hey, if it makes you feel better. She's a terrible cook. I'll let the girls get their high scores. At least none of our gang embarrassed us by getting into the top 50 rights, Mizuru, said Kigo. Mizuru stares at the list. Take another look, said Mizuru as he points to number 12. And there is the name Ichigo Kurosaki. What? Ichigo is ranked number 12. You cheater, there's no way you could have possibly scored that high, said Kigo with tears flowing from his eyes. Shut up, Kigo. I score high on tests because I study for them. You should try it sometime. Aha. So that's what you were doing all those nights when I was asking you to come hang out. You always said you were too busy. But the truth is you were studying like a true nerd. Funny, in my world nerds are considered a threat, I mean look at Shikamaru. He was the so-called second dead last of my year, well I was the true dead last. And I mean he has an IQ of 200. And he's even come close to betting me when I'm going at 40% of my strength. Oh no, I'm friends with a nerd, shouts Kigo pretending to cry. Kigo appears with thick nerdy glasses. Maybe you need some thick nerdy glasses like these pals. Ichigo growls and breaks them. It's really kind of a surprise to learn you really study, said Mizuru. My hair gives me enough abuse. So I'm not gonna become an academic loser on top of it. Good point, sorry I ragged on ya. So how about I give you this complimentary nerd headband instead, shouts Kigo wearing a headband with words nerd. How about no, replies Ichigo pulling out a pair of scissors and cuts it in two. Okay then, but how about I never ask you to do anything with me again, replies Kigo sticking out his tongue at the orange-haired teen. Well, at least you wouldn't go and do anything such as embarrassing as getting on the list of the top 50, said Kigo to Chad. The giant boy man then points to number 8. I'm horrified. I had no idea I was hanging out with such complete nerds. I'm through with all of you, shouts Kigo as he and Mizuru run off with paled expressions. Oh well, they'll be back. I'm just glad for him that not one of us is ranked in the number 1 spot. Like Imatsu Ishida. Oh me Nori Ishida, said Orihime. You mean you know him, asks Ichigo. Why of course he's in our class. Ichigo hiccups and gives of a giant horrified paled expression. You'll find out that Ichigo has an uncanny knack for forgetting people's faces and the names that go with them. Come on, said Tatsuki as she pulls Orihime with her as she walks away. Ichigo crosses his arms across his chest. Now that's weird. Who is he? He has glasses and black hair, said Naruto from the side. Oh hey sensei, suddenly Rukia runs over. Ichigo, come here, I need you, said Rukia as she grabs Ichigo and runs off. Naruto sighs as Kigo, Mizuru and Chad look at them. Naruto goes up and swirl of leaves. Chad sees him go from the corner of his eye. That Rukia is one aggressive chick. Maybe they really are seeing each other. With Ichigo and Rukia. We have a hollow alert, said Rukia as Naruto appears beside them. You know, this is getting harder and harder for me to disappear and reappear. I think Chad may have saw me leave Shushin away, said the Hokage. And so there better be an acutely hollow this time, or I'll be pissed off. Just shut up and run, replies Rukia. The three run past a boy that has glasses and short black hair. Ichigo hits him on the shoulder. Sorry. When they arrive there's no hollow. Another false alarm, said Naruto. Would you get that dumb soul pager fixed already? Hey, it's not my problem that we keep getting false alarms. Every one time it goes off I have to assume a hollow has appeared, replies Rukia, and Ichigo gets into body. Naruto then becomes calm. Well, get it fixed, shouts Ichigo. Bickering, are we? How unprofessional, said a male voice. The person is wearing white robes and he has glasses. Good evening, Ichigo, Rukia, Naruto. Who the hell are you? Uryu Ishida, said Naruto. Another hollow has just appeared, said Uryu. Wait, no way, said Rukia. Suddenly her cell goes off. There's a new one here. But how did he know? Okay, which way? It's over there, said Uryu as he points to his right as a cross hangs from his wrist. And you sent such a simple thing. And you call yourself a Shinigami. Suddenly the cross starts glowing as a blue knight shoots from it, forming into a bow made of blue energy. Uryu pulls an arrow and fires it. The arrow launches through the air and hits a hollow that just appeared in the mask and kills it. Naruto smirks. The signal just vanished, said Rukia. So tell me, Uryu, what are you, asks Naruto with a 4 shuriken in each hand. Uryu Ishida and Ima Quincy. And Shinigami are my enemies. What do you mean, asks Ichigo. Is that too complicated for you? I'll tell you again this time, but slower. Ichigo Kurosaki, you are my enemy. The next morning. Damn, what's the story with that guy? And you call yourself a Shinigami, can you not sense such a simple thing? Who does he think he is? Insulting me like that, I'll mess him up the next time I see him. Besides, who uses a bow and arrow anymore? What's his name? Max? No, I think it was Icky something. Icky Bow, Icky Metal Sue. Ichi Armadillo. That's not it either. Damn it. Do you mean Uryu Ishida? Asks Orihime as she appears next to him. Oh, Orihime. Oh yeah. It's a pretty cool name, huh? I was just saying how pretty cool his name was. Yeah, I say it all the time when I'm sitting with him in the Home Handicrafts Club. Home Handy, what? Asks Ichigo looking like a stunned mullet. The two walk to the Home Handicraft Club and open the door. See, there he is right there, said Orihime as she points to Ryu. Sitting and reading a book. That's him alright. But I still can't believe he's in the Home Handicraft Club. Look at him, he's reading, not doing macrame. Hey, you wait. It looks like Michiru has a job for him, said Orihime as Michiru walks over with a rabbit or something in her hands. And likes he's going to sew it for her. Just wait and see. Naruto appears next to them after Orihime just said that, wanting to see what's going on. Uryu eyes the stuffed thing as it has a rip in its shoulder. Uryu grabs it and throws it into the air. Before pulling out his kit. He grabs a needle and threads some string through it before sewing up its arm. Lightning quick, he then tosses it back to her. It's almost as good as new. Thanks so much, Uryu. It's alright. Don't mention it. In fact, don't talk to me anymore at all. Alright, I'll see you later then. Why would he say something so nice then something so unkind, asks Orihime. It's just how people are sometimes, Orihime said, Naruto scarring the shit out of the two finally. Naruto grins. After talking to Orihime some more, the two walk off. Chad walks over eyeing Naruto. What was that thing? 5-second pause. The other day, asks Chad. Naruto smiles. What thing? Asks Naruto from behind him. Chad looks around, but he's not there. When he turns back around, Ichigo and Naruto are gone. After school. Uryu is walking home while Ichigo is following him. While Naruto is under an illusion. Not even Ichigo knows he's there. Do you intend to follow me all the way home? Kurosaki asks Uryu. Ichigo walks over. I'm not as sneaky as I thought I was. So when did you first notice me? From the time you, Naruto and Orihime saw me in the classroom. You've been ducking in and out of the shadows behind me ever since, said Uryu. Ichigo, and here I thought I taught you better than that, said Naruto as he appears in front of Uryu from his genjutsu. You might have noticed him, but you never noticed me, said Naruto. You're right about that. That long ha. Now that's impressive, said Ichigo, trying to restart from where Naruto butted in. From the careless way you let your Reiatsu leak out, even a monkey would have noticed, said Uryu. Ichigo growls at him and starts performing hand signs. Ichigo, stop, do not let your anger get to you, said Naruto. Ichigo nods and stops the hand signs. Amateur, said Uryu. Bastard. What did you say? It's obvious you lack the ability to detect others around you with high spirit energy. How else can you explain the fact that you weren't aware of my existence? Sure, he may not know how to do that at the moment, but he can track down those with high levels of chakra. Chakra, what is that? It's what I use in battle, said Naruto, forming a perfect Rasengan in front of Uryu. Uryu can feel the chakra flowing form the spiraling sphere hitting his face. Enough. Ichigo Kurosaki, if you were good enough you would have sensed me like I sensed you on your first day of school. I even know the day in mid-May when you became a Shinigami, and I know Rukia Kichiki's true identity. Suddenly spirit ribbons appear around Uryu. Spirit ribbons, mutters Ichigo. For a change, you're right. Spirit ribbons are the physical manifestation of Reiatsu in the atmosphere, and begins Uryu as he appears in front of Ichigo and grabs a red ribbon. What is that? This is your spirit ribbon. Uryu ribs the ribbon. You didn't know that Shinigami spirit ribbons are different to normal ribbons. Uryu lets the ribbon go and disappears. How about we play a little game, Ichigo Kurosaki? Let's have a duel to see which is stronger, the Quincy or the Shinigami. I'll show you just how unnecessary Shinigami are in this world. Hey. What about me, the ninja, asks Naruto while pouting before he straightens his face in a serious one. I'll show that a ninja is better than both. Especially the Rakudame Hokage, said Naruto with a calm, relaxed expression. Meanwhile at Urahara's shop. A girl wearing a pink dress with black hair and two pieces of hair over her eyes. And a boy with red hair is playing a game of paper, scissors and rock. The boy is known as Janada Hanakari and Ururu Tsumujiya. Paper, scissors, rock, said the two. Janada goes with rock while Ururu goes with scissors. Ah, I win, said Janada. They do it again. Janada chooses rock, but Ururu chooses paper. I get to choose a chore for you, Janada, and I choose sweeping up. Oh no, it's not over yet. I said it's over when you win 2 out of 3, said Janada. Hey, you never said that before, replies Ururu as Janada gets his knuckles and spins them in the side of her head. Oh, quit your complaining, Ururu, the rules are whatever I make it, said Janada when he is picked up by Tessai and is now 3 meters of the ground. Maybe you'd like to try that technique on my head, Janada, said Tessai with a face that scares the young boy. Hey, put me down, I was just trying to teach her rock, paper, scissors, shouts Janada. Rukia appears and kicks Tessai in ass. He just stands and turns around, seeing Rukia clutching her foot in pain. Oh, hello there, Miss Kichiki. Something wrong with your foot, said Tessai. Never mind. Urahara here. Well, if it isn't my favorite customer. What can I do for you? Said Urahara as he fans himself. Rukia steals his fan and hits him with it. Don't play innocent with me. I had to come in person because I've been calling for days with a dreadful problem and you don't respond. Oh, sorry about that. It's just we've been really busy lately and I was going to call you today, said Urahara as Janada appears next to Rukia. So where's your friend? You know, the one with the orange spiky hairdo, I don't see him. Ah, I guess he must have broke up with you. Can't really say I blame the guy. Cut her some slack, Janada. It's serious. I need information. About what? Back with Uryu, Ichigo and Naruto. So when's this duel on, asks Ichigo. Right now, replies Uryu. That idea is ridiculous. Why do you say that? It would be a waste of time. And I have nothing to do with you. And besides, I've never heard of a Quincy. I don't know what you got about Shinigami, but it has nothing to do with me. What a surprise, you're afraid to fight. Stop trying to force me into it. Besides, I'd mop the floor with you, said Ichigo as he starts walking off. Now I get it, you don't have permission. I forgot that your Shinigami powers came from Rukia, you're actually just a substitute Shinigami. So that means on your own you can't so much as lift a finger. You have to have her permission to duel, don't you? That does it, Naruto sighs as he was completely left out of the conversation again. Back with Rukia. The Quincy, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time, said Urahara as he drinks some tea. It does kind of have an ancient ring to it. Not to be mistaken, but it's been 200 years since I've heard anyone speak of Quincy, said Tessai. He's old. Well, who are they, asks Rukia. Tessai then leaves. You mean who were they? The last of the Quincy's became extinct centuries ago. But they were once a clan that specialized in killing hollows. But at one time there were many of them scattered all over the world. So what happened? Well, I suppose I should begin at the beginning. The clan started out as a group of humans. But they had powers like Ichigo's to sense out hollows in the world and began to train to fight against them. The whole mission of the Quincy's was to defeat hollows, just as it is for Shinigami like yourself. But here is a deep division between the two. It was a question of rather to cleanse or to just kill hollows them. Shinigami, as you know, seek to cleanse the hollows with their Zanpukto and thereby allowing them to pass over into the Soul Society. But the Quincy's believed that the hollows deserved only destruction and sought to annihilate them. When you think about it, it was a natural reaction. Hollows devoured human souls they killed and maim our friends and family. Why should they deserve the peace of the Soul Society? The Quincy's couldn't understand showing such mercy and eventually they began to hate the Shinigami for it. They were sure that the only answer was to kill hollows. They believed in doing so they were avenging their fallen comrades. But then it was the same belief that eventually led to their destruction. Back with the others. Fine, if a duel you want then a duel you get, said Ichigo as he unzips his back and pulls out Kon in the form of a stuffed toy lion. Flashback. Kon is in front of Ichigo and Naruto. Ichigo is holding a stuffed toy lion. Listen, Kon. We've come up with an agreement. During the time Ichigo is without Rukia he shall have you inside of a stuffed toy lion. On the weekends you will have your freedom and when Ichigo is not in need of you, said Naruto. Fine, but I really do like this body, said Kon. Then flashback. Flashback to this morning. Rukia pulls out the mod soul pill and stuffs it into the stuffed who comes to life. Since after school I won't be around you, Kon will be with Ichigo in this form. Hi Ni-san, said Kon as Ichigo stuffs him in his bag and walks off. The muffled voice of Kon is heard to school. As the gym teacher takes the three to see the principal. During that Kon shuts up. Then flashback. Why did you leave me in the bag all day? You trying to kill me? Asks Kon in a fit of rage. If only I had my body I would mop the floor with you as a mod soul. Cough it up, said Ichigo. Kon sighs as Ichigo puts his arm down his stuffed body throat and pulls out the pill. He wipes it and swallows it in his mouth. He then shoots out of his body in his Shinigami form as Kon takes control. Kon, you better get back. I'm about to give Mr. Home and Handicraft some stitches to sew. I'll be over here, said Kon as he leaps into the air and lands on a roof. So how does your little duel work? Tell me so we can get to it. But first tell me what the rules are. Ryu then pulls out a strange pill from his pocket. We'll use this to begin. It'll help. And what is that? Bait to bring in hollows. If I crush this hollows will start gathering here quickly. What the hell? The rules here are quite simple. Whoever kills the most hollows with a time limit of 20 hours will be the winner. Simple, isn't it? Even you can understand that, right? That won't work. What are you thinking, putting everyone who lives here in danger? This battle's just between us, not them. Why are you making such a big deal about this? Believe me, no one is going to get hurt. Because I know I'll be able to wipe out every single hollow I come across, said a smug Ryu. If you had more confidence in your abilities to protect people from hollows you wouldn't be worried. And you would accept this challenge, said Ryu as he crushes the pill. Suddenly a strange noise is heard throughout the town as hollows start to appear. One appears near them as Ryu prepares his bow, but the hollow is hit in the head by a shuriken, killing it. Didn't I say I was going to be in this? Seems I'm in the lead with 8 kills, said Naruto as 7 more hollows appear dead. Naruto smirks. One Ichigo, once a bait has been used it cannot be deactivated is my guess, so let's get killing, said Naruto. Ichigo nods and draws his Zanpukto in one hand and a kunai in the other. Ichigo races off to kill the hollows from attacking others. Naruto forms 100 shadows clones to surround 50 hollows. Each pull out 8 shuriken. Everyone wear shuriken. Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, whispers Naruto. All the clones let loose their shuriken. These shuriken turn into 8,000 and shred through the hollows. All the clones and cloned shuriken go up in smoke as the hollows turn to spirit particles. That's 101 for me, Quincy. If I was you, Ryu, I'd get started, seeing as I'm in the lead, said Naruto with a grin as he runs off with a blade of fire in both hands. Naruto rips through any hollow he sees. Naruto runs to the school. Hollows attack those with high spirit energy and I'm sure that Ichigo's friends have that, thinks Naruto as he releases his weights and runs off. Meanwhile at the school. Tatsuki is standing by a wall drinking some water. Mika, you're the cutest, I mean it, said a male voice. Haha, you mean it, asks Mika. I'm serious. Oh, stop that, Yashi, someone might see us, said Mika. Suddenly 2 spirits float by. Hey, it's okay, said Yashi. Don't you have a car or somewhere more private? Ah, just what I wanted to see ghosts making out, said Tatsuki. Hey Tatsuki, your break's over, get back in here, shouts a teacher. Tatsuki, are you coming? Sure, replies Tatsuki. Tatsuki. Orihime. Can we talk, asks Orihime. Back with Naruto. Irakudame Hokage runs through Karakura killing off hollow after hollow. Damn, that's already number 181. How many more until I get to the school, asks Naruto in anger as he pumps chakra into his feet. This increases his speed. Naruto runs along a moving train. Everyone stares in shock as Naruto runs in front and runs across, making sure the train doesn't hit him. Naruto picks up his pace, increasing his speed once again. He's now moving 250 kilometers every half an hour. Naruto runs past people only seeing a blur. The wind sends everyone flying as he keeps running. At the park, Karen is playing soccer with her friends when she stops and stares at the sky. With Ichigo, he goes around killing hollows trying to find her. With Chad, he and a couple of guys are talking when something lands behind him, causing a giant crater. Chad looks as a footprint appears, the form of a shape is there. "What's that spot there is shimmering like heat waves," mutters Chad under his breath while his friends want to leave. Chad pushes the out of the way and jumps as the form punches the ground. "Eyes run," said Chad as the image goes after him. "He's coming after me. I see, well then." Chad then starts running for it. "I'm not really sure what that big thing is, but since it's following me, I know what I should do. I'll just keep running until I lead it to a place where it can't do any damage." Back at the park, Karen kicks the ball in her friend's nose, making it bleed. "Sorry." "Hey Karen. Why did you do that for?" asks a boy with an afro hairdo. "There you go, spacing out again. Then you kick the ball without aiming," said a second. "You want to play or not?" asks a third. Karen glares at them. The four back off scared. "Come on, we're not afraid. You want to fight, then bring it on," said the four, scared out of their minds. "Sorry guys, but I think I better head home now. The day sucks, I can't concentrate on anything." Karen continues to walk when she spots Chad in front of her, panting and sweating. "Hey, you're Ichigo's friend, right? The Kakadiel's uncle." "Oh, you're Ichigo's little sister. So hey, why are you hanging out at our playground?" then asks Karen. Chad suddenly grabs her as something hits the ground. Karen sees the form of a giant hollow with a but ugly mask, making him look like Benjamin Franklin. "Doesn't look like that thing is moving. Is it waiting for us to move or what? It's hard to tell. Damn it, if only I could see it more. It's coming back. It looks weird. I mean, what is that thing?" said Karen, getting Chad's attention. "Hey wait, are you saying you can see it clearly?" asks Chad. "What do you mean? Of course I can. What an ugly creature, you see him, you can't miss him." The hollow goes to punch him, but Karen yells, "Hey, watch out." Chad grabs her and jumps as the punch comes down. He skids across the field. Chad looks up and he's gone. "What are you looking at? He's to your right, move," shouts Karen. Chad jumps to avoid a punch. "What's going on with you, big guy? Can you see that monster?" "Kind of, just a little." "Well, from what I've seen, I'd say you really can't see him. Hang on to me, we've got to survive this." "You are our legs, I'll be our eyes," said Karen as Chad runs. "No way. Come on, big guy, you got to trust me on this. This isn't first time I've seen one of these creeps. You know, there's some kind of connection that's really been bothering me. These freaky creature have something to do with my brother Ichigo," said Karen. "With Ichigo? Look out, he's to our left," shouts Karen. Chad jumps. Chad starts to see the hollow's arm and punches it, making it yell in pain. The hollow hits Chad and sends him flying across the place. Chad holds Karen tight to hit body and lands on his back. Her four friends run over to see Chad covered in blood. "Whoa, he's all covered in blood. Did you do this to him?" asked one of him. "That going, you really don't want to be here," shouts Karen. The four start to protest as the hollow appears behind them. The hollow goes to grab one of them, but Karen grabs him and throws him to the ground. Chad sees this and starts having flashbacks about his past. "Yasutora, what's the point of hitting someone if it hurts them? An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind." "Yasutora, you're young and very strong. You are big for your age and handsome to how blessed you are. You contain a gift and a sharp mind. And you have a heart of gold. These qualities make you very different. That means people will pick on you, faulting what you do and try to bring you down. I wished we lived in a world where that doesn't happen, but we live in a world with all that. You must be kind and find a good use for your big strong fist. Use them in a way that helps our world." "I know, abuelo," grandfather in Spanish. "I know my hands weren't made to hurt others. They were made to protect me." Chad starts to stand. "And to defend others from evil in this world. I've learned my lesson and I'll never abuse this gift I was given." Chad starts to see the hollow clearly. The hollow raises its fist and prepares to attack. Chad does the same as well. "But now I need to ask something of you, please. I want you to give me the power." The two giant fists collide, causing a bright light to appear. The hollow growls in pain as it is sent flying back with its left arm completely gone. Chad flies backwards as well. Chad's right arm is now armored. The armor is colored black with a red stripe going down the center and two white stripes surrounding it, the same colors used on Mexican military dress uniforms. "What the hell? What happened to your arm?" asks Karen in shock. The hollow stands and howls. Chad runs forward as the hollow prepares to attack. Back with Naruto. Naruto keeps running until he reaches a park and there's Chad fighting against a hollow. His right arm is armored. The armor is colored black with a red stripe going down the center and 2 white stripes surrounding it, the same colors used on Mexican military dress uniforms. Naruto's eyes widen with shock as Chad launches a raw concentrated blast of pure Ryatsu. This blows the hollow away. Chad collapses covered in blood as 10 more hollows. Chad tries to stand but falls. Naruto sighs as he runs to the park. Naruto pumps chakra throughout his body and starts getting to the first 3 hollows that are standing in a line. Naruto hits the first and rips through his body, then the second and third. Naruto finally stops after hitting 15 trees, 5 brick walls and a swing set. Naruto lands about 50 meters away. Everyone gapes at this, especially the hollows. Wow, that was a lot less than normal. Oh, that's right, I wasn't going flat out, shouts Naruto, scratching his head sheepishly. Everyone in 50 meters block radius hears him and sweat drops. Naruto appears in front of Chad and Karen. Then Naruto stutters Karen. Yo, replies the blonde as he draws 8 shuriken and throws them. The hollows dodge but one gets hit and dies. 4 down 6 to go, said Naruto as he runs forward and kicks a hollow in the chin before delivering a swift axe kick. Naruto forms a Rasengan and shreds its mask. Naruto forms 4 clones, each forming a Rasengan in each hand, and rip through 4 more. While Naruto kills the last. 191 down, said Naruto as he runs off. What just happened? Where the hell did this arm come from? And with it something else amazing. This arm was given to me, finally I could see that monster completely. But how did I can't comprehend, it just happened. Dad, don't worry, I'll come back for you, that's why I'm leaving a shadow clone, thinks Naruto as he forms a chakra reinforced shadow clone to keep an eye on the area. Karen runs over. Hey mister, are you alright? Just tell me you're not hurt. Just say it, Ichigo's sister. Are you kidding? The only one hurt here is you. You big stupid giant. I see, well to me that's damn good. Karen then kicks him in the head. Chad holds his head and stares. That's not good, you idiot. What in hell's name is so good about someone getting hurt? What kind of macho crap are you trying to sell me? Overgrown dumbass. That logic really ticks me off. You want to act cool and slick just like my stupid brother Ichigo. I've had it, you just stay put and I'll go call my dad so he can put you back in one piece again. Now don't move or I'll kick you again, you lame brain coot, said Karen as she storms off. So that's Ichigo's sister, how I can tell they're related. Because she, 10-second pause, kicks just like her brother. Orihime and Totsuki are talking when glass shatters. Totsuki, Orihime, go clean it up, shouts a teacher. I reply the two as the school's lesbian Chizuru joins them in cleaning up. Orihime stands as looks at an odd shape that looks like a mutated squid. Hey, what's up with Orihime? Orihime, you keep looking so cute and spacey and I'll just have to kiss you, said Chizuru as she appears next to Orihime. She goes to kiss her, but Totsuki punches her. Oh, that's right, there's this show I like to watch and it's about to start any minute, so let's go, said Orihime as she starts pushing Totsuki and Chizuru away. First thing I thought was I wished I didn't notice it. Then I thought we have to get away from here. I'm certain of it now, if we stay here, we'll be in danger. But I have to stay calm, I don't want the others to know we're in danger. Suddenly the form she saw is gone. Totsuki then runs off to get changed. Totsuki, no, come back, what if it's still here? She feels something behind her and turns around, there is the hollows. You can see me, can't you? Orihime gasps and stares in shock. Orihime, what's wrong now? What are you looking at, asks Chizuru. Run. You have got to run, Chizuru, get going now. I won't let you get away, said the hollow as she launches seeds from her head in every direction, hitting windows and the ground. One goes into Chizuru's shoulder. What just happened, Chizuru? I don't know what to do, Chizuru, said Orihime as she kneels next to Chizuru. Orihime starts crying. What's this, tears? I don't know what just happened to me, but I'm bleeding, said Chizuru as she stands. Still, it doesn't really hurt that much. Suddenly Chizuru grabs her arm and starts hurting her. Stop it, you're hurting me. But my hand, I don't have control over it. What's going on? Why is this happening? What have you done to Chizuru, asked Orihime. I just used a bit of my powers. I don't like violence, that's why I use these seeds from my forehead to take control of others. To make you humans fight amongst yourselves. Now everyone, it's time to GT started. Students start to appear with pale wide eyes. They go to grab Orihime, she screams when Totsuki comes running and kicks the snot out of them. Totsuki. Hey Orihime, about that thing over there, I should have noticed it sooner. Are you saying you can see that creature as well? No, I can't, but I can sense its presence, I know exactly where that thing is that made you cry. Hey you big blob. You picked a fight with the wrong person. See, would have this long-standing arrangement, anyone that makes Orihime cry gets the snot beat out of them, said Totsuki. You don't say, said the hollow as the students attack Totsuki. Totsuki kicks one in the side of the face before punching on in the cut. She knees another in the chin and kicks another in the ribs. Ah, isn't there even one of you who can give me a fight, asks Tatsuki when a hand grabs her shoulder. Let go. Tatsuki turns around and the one who is holding her is Chizuru. Her veins in her arms are visible. Grunt Tatsuki. Look what's happened to me, arm Chizuru, then squeezes, making Tatsuki cry in pain. And you stop, asks Orihime. The students grab her and cover her mouth. The hollow then shoots a seed into Tatsuki's left shoulder, causing Tatsuki and Chizuru to fall backwards. So how do you feel now? The seed I shot into you is starting to take root in your body. And in just a little bit it'll take control of you. Soon your body will be mine to manipulate at will. Now how should I make you suffer? Shut up, said Tatsuki as she stands up. What? I said shut up. Let go of her now. Don't you realize the position you're in right now? Soon you'll have no control over your body. I'll show you, see, said the hollow as it waves a tentacle in front of Tatsuki, who bites down on it, making the hollow scream in pain. What do you think you're doing? Let go, shouts the hollow as she hits Tatsuki in the head. Did you hear me? I said let go. You're not worthy of being controlled, now die. The hollow launches 3 seeds. One hits Tatsuki in the right leg, another in the ribs and another in the head. Orihime escapes her captor's hold. Tatsuki shouts Orihime as she runs over to her friend with tears. Orihime. Please don't cry, Orihime, said Tatsuki as her mind goes blank. Orihime runs over only to be kicked in the stomach by Tatsuki's foot. Orihime falls onto her knees coughing. Tatsuki stands up. Orihime starts having flashbacks about her brother. Yeah, I'm going to skip this bit. Back with Naruto. Irakudame Hokage kicks a hollow in the face from trying to a 5-year-old human girl. Naruto then draws his claymore and decapitates it. Naruto curses as a mantis, centipede, bear, squid and dog-like hollows appear. Naruto sighs and burns them to ash with a simple Kaiten jutsu. Naruto continues to run. That's number 255. With Uryu. Uryu shoots 5 arrows at 5 hollows and kills them completely. Uryu shoots more arrows. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Probably in the lead, said an overconfident Quincy. Uryu launches more arrows as he runs around Karakura. But Ichigo slices a hollow in half with his Zanpukto and throws 4 shuriken, killing 2 more. Ichigo then throws a kunai behind him, killing another before slicing off another's mask. Ichigo runs forward and cuts a hollow in 2 before electrocuting one with a lightning strike. That's number 40. I wonder how many Naruto's killed. Knowing him, he's probably in the lead, said Ichigo, as he kills another 2 in one swing, throw 4 shuriken at 4 more. Back with Naruto. Naruto throws 8 shuriken, killing 8 before slicing a hollow in half. Naruto forms 10 shadow clones. When the clones reach their hollows they explode, killing 5 each. 314. I wonder how many the others have killed. No time for that, I have to get back to school. I sense a hollow's already there. Back at school. Orihime is hugging Tatsuki, who stares in shock. Please don't cry. This time I'll protect you. Orihime's flower hairpins glow yellow. As a giant tornado surrounds her and Tatsuki. Impossible, said the hollow as she is blown away along with the other students. Tatsuki said you picked a fight with the wrong person. That's not quite right. What she should have said was you picked the wrong person to hurt. Anyone who tries to hurt Tatsuki will have to answer to me, said Orihime as 6 paper birds fly around her. Just what exactly are you using those strange powers, but how? Orihime looks at the flying baby birds. Who are you? Don't tell me you didn't notice us till just now, said a rough male voice. Sure she noticed us. I'm sure she knew we existed. If you think about it, haven't we always been the ones closest to you, said a sweet female voice. A green paper bird lands on her and folds out into a girl with yellow hair wearing a red dress. Hello, Orihime. We are the Shun Riki, your 6 princes shielding flowers to protect you. 5 others appear. One is a bald man with the bottom half of his face covered by metal. Another is a female with black hair wearing a dress longer than her body. The next is a male with a large patch that ends in a horn. The next is a female, she has bright pink hair, yellow goggles and a blue thong bathing suit. And the 5th is a male with black hair wearing red and black. Hey, wait a second, how come there are a bunch of little fairies flying around talking to me? Wow, that was some reaction, but to be accurate, we're not fairies. You see, we are the powers from within your soul. And each one of us is a part of you. And only you are able to see us. Well, maybe people like Ichigo Kurosaki can't see us too. Ichigo, why him? Well, it's because of him we exist. You talk too much, said the male in red as he kicks the girl in red who was talking to Orihime. Hey, listen up, you don't need to know who we are or where we came from. All you need to know is we are a part of your powers, said the man. You're pretty bossy for someone so tiny. Real funny, just shut up and learn how to use us now. Learn how to use you? That's right. The one with the eye patch, the bald one and the one in the bathing suit stand together. You can use our power to construct a shield to reject any spirit attacks, said the one with the eye patch. In order to activate this shield you must use your heart. To do this you must ink into Kotudama a spirit incantation. Sorry, don't know how to spell that, said the bald one. Kotudama asks Orihime with swirls in her eyes. Wait a second, it's coming, said the man in red. So what are you doing mumbling to yourself? Tell me, young girl, asks the hollow. As it prepares to attack. It's time, Orihime, call out our names. I am Hinajiku, said the one with the eye patch. I am Bagan, said the bold one. My name's Lily, said the one in the bathing suit. Relax, you must summon them with their Kotudama. Now repeat after me. Hinajiku, Bagan, Lily. Hurry, said the one with the yellow hair. The hollow launches 10 seeds at Orihime. Hinajiku, Bagan, Lily, begins Orihime. Santin Kessin, I reject, said the 3 spirits. Santin Kessin, I reject, repast Orihime. Suddenly a triangular yellow energy wall appears in front of Orihime and blocks the seeds. What? Their powers allow you to create a shield between you and your enemy, then reject whatever is outside that shield. So they're able to protect you from any outside attack. You see, we have the ability to reject within the shield. We are able to make a defined space within our shield, then we can reverse any damage within that space. Now say our names. I am Shuno, said the yellow-haired spirit. And I am Ame, said the one wearing the dress longer than her body. Shunu, Am. Now say our Kotudama. Souten Kissin, I reject, shouts the 3. Am and Shunu form an oval-shaped shield around Tatsuki and start to heal her injuries. Oh, Tatsuki. Hurry, there's no times for tears. Im up next, Missy. Im able to reject on both sides. By blowing a hole in the enemy which cuts them in half. Now you must say my name Tsubaki, then recite my Kotudama, said the man in red and black. Tsubaki Koten Zanshin, I reject, said Orihime. The one known as Tsubaki flies at the hollow, transforming into his bird-like form. A thin barrier appears around him and he cuts through the hollow's left side. But doesn't kill it. Insolent brat, I'll kill you, shouts the hollow. With Naruto a few moments ago. Naruto runs through Karakura only minutes away from the school. Naruto releases his gravity weights, increasing his speed once more. Naruto channels chakra throughout his body when he hears Orihime yell. Tsubaki Koten's Anshin, I reject. Naruto watches as he runs as a black paper bird rips through a hollow but doesn't kill it. The hollow prepares to attack Orihime, but Naruto hits it with full force, sending it into a building. Naruto skids along the ground while reactivated his weights to slow him down. By adding 100 extra pounds to each weight, taking them up to 3,000 pounds each. Considering he has 5 weights on, that's a total of 15,000 pounds. Naruto struggles to stand from the extra weight as the hollow walks over, very angry. Naruto pumps chakra throughout his body, making him stand. Naruto then tackles the hollow, crushing it thanks to his weights. The hollow screams in pain as Naruto shoves a Rasengan into it. The hollow then disappears. Orihime stares in shock as she faints. Oh well, I guess using all our powers at once was too much for her. On the other hand, Orihime did really well, didn't she, said Shunu. Naruto walks over and looks at them. I guess you'd be her powers. Are you saying you can see us, asks Shunu. Naruto smiles. Of course I can. Well, you better leave, said Naruto. The spirits nod and fly into the sky and turn into her flower hairpins. Naruto sighs as Urahara and Tessai appear. Tessai is holding Chad. Urahara picks up Orihime. So Urahara, I'll leave them in your care, but I'll come with you anyway, said Naruto before throwing 5 shuriken at 5 hollows that just appears. 320. Urahara gapes at that number. You killed 320 hollows. Naruto nods. Anyway, let's go. The 3 then leave with Orihime and Chad. When Chad and Orihime awake, they're in a room together. Chad. You're up, good morning. Hi, good morning. Chad, where are we? Don't know. I see you're finally awake, said Urahara as he walks in with Naruto. I'm not too sure. But apparently he must have been the guy that saved us, said Chad. Well, I suppose that's one way to look at it. Now then, where should I begin? What about me? I've already killed 350 hollows. I killed 30 more on my way here, said Naruto. That many, said Orihime in shock. Naruto sighs and goes up in flames. With Ichigo. Ichigo rips a hollow in half before he kills 2 more with kunai. Damn that Iryu, I'll make him pay, said Ichigo as Naruto appears in front of him. My. How many have you killed? 80, replies Ichigo. 350. I'm in the lead, said Naruto with a childish voice. That many, hey. Yep. Anyway, let's team up to kill these bastards. Oh, and Ichigo. Orihime and Chad have the power to kill hollows. Well, Chad does, but Orihime didn't kill the one she was fighting. I did because she missed. The 2 run and run as they find Kon and Rukia standing in front of Uryu as a hollow appears. Uryu goes to kill it, but Ichigo throws a kunai with an explosive tag attached. The kunai explodes on contact and kills the hollow. So we found you, Uryu, said Ichigo. Kurosaki, Namikaze. Ichigo, Naruto. You better get ready Uryu because I'm going to beat the shit out of you, do you know that? Uryu pulls back an arrow and shoots it at a hollow, but Ichigo destroys the arrow and kills the hollow. This is a game to see who killed the most hollows. I'm not playing your game. Fight me if you think Quincy's and so superior to Shinigami. Fight me one-on-one right now, or are you too afraid? What are you waiting for, come on. Ichigo, wait, look up there, said Kon. Ichigo looks into the sky and it's Cracker with hundreds of hollows surrounding it. What the hell? The hollows they're gathering, said Uryu. This shocks the others except Naruto, who summons a giant fire dragon and destroys 50 of them by turning them to ash. 400, mutters Naruto. Uryu catches this and stares in shock. Uryu starts running to their direction, Naruto follows. Uryu launches an arrow and kills 2 hollows. Down here, filthy hollow scum. Uryu Ishida, last of the Quincy's, challenge you. The hollows look at Uryu and charge in, only to have kunai and shuriken embedded in their heads, killing over 200. The shuriken and kunai go up into smoke as only one of each fall to the ground. 612. Is he really the last one? Asks Ichigo. It was thought that they all became extinct 200 years ago. Well, not exactly, they were systematically killed by then Shinigamis. Flashback, Rukia. As you can imagine, it was very difficult and painful decision for the Shinigami, but in the end it became necessary to destroy the Quincy's. Because it was the only way to prevent the destruction of this world. Then flashback. Shinigami were also referred by other names back then. They were called balances or regulators. What do they balance? The number of souls in Soul Society and in the human world does not change by much as time goes on. They just trade places between the two worlds. It's the job of Shinigami to balance that. To keep the balance. It worked until the Quincy's disrupted the equation. The Quincy's didn't cleanse the hollows, they destroyed them completely. This meant that any soul that left Soul Society for the human world would never return. If this had continued this way, the balance of the two worlds would have collapsed. It would have meant the apocalypse. There were many meetings between the Shinigami and the Quincy's, but to no avail. The Quincy's refused to listen to reason. Finally, there was no choice. The order was given for the Quincy's annihilation. Many have accused the Shinigami for arrogance for their actions, said Rukia. Ichigo grits his teeth. Naruto and Uryu continue to kill hollows. What the? They keep on coming. Uryu shouts Ichigo as hollows go flying everywhere from him. Alright Uryu, now I understand why you think Shinigami are your enemies. I don't know who was right or who was wrong, the Shinigami or the Quincy's. But it was so long ago that I don't see how it matters anymore. But I'll tell you one thing for sure, Uryu, your methods. That's all ancient history. I don't care about some slaughter that happened 200 years ago. It was just one more fact that was passed down to me by my sensei. In fact, when I heard that story, I think I sided with the Shinigami more than I did with the Quincy's. That was until my sensei was murdered. After much thought, I must conclude the Quincy only had themselves to blame for failing to follow the warnings of the Shinigami. But why, sensei? How can you say that when it was the Quincy's who were wiped out? It does seem cruel, many lives were cut short so young. But the memory of those souls who were lost is important. Without worrying about whom is right and who was wrong is meaningless. We must do all we can to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again. That is the lesson I want you to learn. So that such sadness may never occur in the lives of humans or Shinigami. He was a kind, gentle old man with no hatred in his heart. To the very end, he tried to convince Shinigami that Quincy's were necessary. He kept encouraging them to work together, suggesting new ways to fight the hollows. But the Shinigami always had the same answer to his efforts: don't interfere with our work. Uryu releases his arrows, killing more hollows. Then one day 5 hollows appear and surrounded Sensei. It was obvious that he couldn't take them on his own. And yet not one Shinigami came to his aid. They knew about the hollows. Sensei was under constant surveillance, and yet it was 2 hours before they finally arrived. If only they had listened to his advice. If only they had heeded his warnings, then he wouldn't have been alone. Help would have reached him in time. And Sensei wouldn't have ended up dead. Now do you understand, Ichigo Kurosaki? This is why it's so important that I have to prove to you and all Shinigami the inferior strength of the Quincy. I realized our methods are different. That our ways of thinking are at opposite poles. So if you really believe my way is wrong, then stay back and watch. Watch as I show you the true power, starts Uryu, but Ichigo jump kicks him in the back of the head, making him fly across grass, yelling, "Shut up already." Uryu stands up. What is your problem? You mess up your own story. Your sensei wouldn't want you to prove the strength of the Quincy's. You said it yourself, his greatest goal was for Shinigami and Quincy's to work together. Isn't that right? Come one, think about it, when will you ever have the chance to do that again, besides right now surrounded by enemies? You say we're at opposite poles, but I say when 2 warriors are heavily outnumbered, the trick is to fight back to back, said Ichigo, picking up Uryu and placing him at his side. Naruto appears next to them. Hey, what about me? Sure, leave the ninja out. The ninja who happened to kill more than 6 times of what you guys killed, said an angry Naruto. The Rakudame Hokage unleashes such a great killer intent that it scares the shit out of everyone including the hollows. Naruto's chakra explodes sending hollows flying also killing them. Sure, leave me out of every conversation. What's with him, whispers asks Uryu. He's probably a little angry because we always leave him out of our conversations, whispers Ichigo. Naruto draws his Daidos and runs through the army of hollows, killing every single one in his path before landing in front of the Quincy and Shinigami. Enough of this. Let's just kill these bastards, said Naruto after calming down. The two nod before the three get back to back. Naruto puts his swords away and draws 8 shuriken. Ichigo holds his Zanpukto in one hand and 4 shuriken in the other. Uryu activates his bow and pulls back an arrow. The saying off my old sensei, if you're heavily outnumbered it's best to fight together than to fight alone because it's kill or be killed. And we can kill a lot more if we help each other, said Naruto. Besides, there are no weak soldiers under a strong commander. A saying of my father. Those that don't follow the rules are trash, but those that abandon their friends are worse than trash. The saying of another sensei. The two look at him with strange looks. Don't worry, let's just get killing. The two nod and starts attacking. Uryu shoots a hollow in the head as Ichigo cuts one in half. Naruto kills 8 in one shot as 4 shuriken fly past him killing 4 more. An arrow flies past Ichigo killing another. Ichigo's Zanpukto cuts a hollow in half from the side before throwing a kunai past Uryu killing another. You know, all three of us share the same single-minded purpose. We all have reasons to want to destroy as many hollows as we can. You know my reason, but what's yours, asks Uryu. My mother was killed by a hollow. I'm sure you'll agree that's enough of a reason all by itself. But there's still more to it than that. After all the agony I suffered, I want to make sure others don't suffer the way I did. My father and my sisters went through so much pain after our mum died. It was so hard for me to watch. That's something I don't ever want to see again. That sadness on their faces. I'm not a superhero, I know I can't protect everybody in the world. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be content with the people I can hold in my arms. I'm going to protect as many people as I possibly can. Your method of using bait to deliberately draw in hollows here just to prove a point endangering innocent lives. I don't agree with that. But right now isn't the time for arguing. We've got to work together, you and me, so what do you say, said Ichigo slicing 2 hollows in half. What do I say? I think you talk too much. But I understand what you're saying. I have to help you survive this battle or you won't be around for me to kick your butt, said Uryu. Naruto nods his head in agreement, well, with the first 3 sentences, but not the last. Because during their little conversation he managed to take out 151 hollows. Ichigo smirks and runs forward slicing hollows as Uryu shoots his arrows. Naruto throws his shuriken and forms 4 shadow clones. Naruto performs some quick one-hand signs. Same with his clones. Painten. Fire Dragon Jutsu. Suiton. Water Dragon Jutsu. Oten. Earth Dragon Jutsu. Futen. Wind Dragon Jutsu. Raiten. Lightning Dragon Jutsu, shouts Naruto and his clones. 5 giant dragons appear, one made of earth, fire, water, wind and lightning. The dragons fly at the hollows and attack. The hollows are burned, drowned, electrocuted, buried and cut in half by each dragon. In total wiping out over half. Uryu and Ichigo stare in shock. What the? Ichigo, Naruto, look at the sky, said Uryu. The two look up at the crack has gotten bigger and on the other side is a monster. What is that? I don't know, replies Uryu as 2 giant hands appear and start to open it up. Oh no, is that what I think it is? It can't, he said Rukia as a hollow mask shows with a long nose. Sort of like Pinocchio. What is that thing, tell me, said Kon in Ichigo's body. That's not your everyday garden variety hollow, said Ichigo. That little bit of bait I used couldn't have possibly drawn this out. Maybe not, but it's here, said Naruto as the hollows attack from behind. Naruto prepares to attack, but gunfire is heard and they are blown away. Everyone looks in the direct the bullets came from, and there's Uryu holding a multi-barreled shoulder cannon wrapped in bandages. I'm sorry we're so late, said Uryu. Hinata Hara triple, shouts Janata as he hits 3 hollows with a giant iron bat. Tessai hits one with an open palm and breaks its mask with ease. I thought you might have wanted a little assistance, Ichigo. Mr. Had and clogs Janata, then smashes a hollow's mask. Uryu proceeds to shoot them. If you don't mind me making a suggestion, why don't I and my crew handle these small fry for you, Ichigo? Well, you, Ichigo, go concentrate on that big guy. Oh, you probably should get started before it's too late. The hollow starts to open the crack up more. Menos Grande. Menos what? It's a huge hollow. Born from hundreds and hundreds hollows mixed and folded and crushed together. Until now I've never ever seen once except in illustrations and textbooks. Menos Grande, I don't know what we can do. Only one group can handle this. The Royal Special Task Force. Menos Grande is way too much for any single Shinigami. That thing's too big for any off or weapons. Just because it's overfed doesn't change anything. We're just to have to chop a little more, said Ichigo with a big grin. Top, asks Naruto and Uryu. Yep, the bigger they are the harder they fall, come on. Together we'll take that sucker down. Come on Uryu, Naruto, said Ichigo as he runs forward. Ichigo. Moron, thinks Naruto. And I'm ashamed he's my vessel's apprentice, thinks the Kyuubi. Naruto and Uryu chase after Ichigo. Well, Rukia protests Urahara, who stands in front of her. Urahara, are you trying to get Ichigo killed out there, asks Rukia. Of course not, there is a method to my madness. This is a battle that must be fought, said Urahara while casting a binding spell on Rukia. Ichigo jumps at the Menos Grande, who goes to kick Ichigo. Ichigo attacks his foot but is sent flying. I told you that would happen, said Uryu as he launches an arrow but only scrapes the Hollow's mask. Naruto throws a kunai and multiplies it by 50. The 50 kunai fly at the Menos Grande with explosives attached. The kunai explode but do nothing. Naruto falls onto one knee. Hey, you okay, asks Uryu to both Ichigo and Naruto. The Hokage nods. Sure, I'm good, as new, replies Ichigo as blood falls from his forehead. That was the dumbest charge I've ever seen. What were you thinking? Did you think that would actually work? Huh. Well, I figured if I just kept chopping away on him like a giant tree, I'd eventually reach the point where I could whack him on the head. I can't believe you're actually treating this like some little kid's game, said Uryu. What now? I've used too much chakra fighting against these hollows. Wait, I'll try the Chaodama Rasengan Daibakuha bomb, ultra big ball spiraling sphere great exploding bomb. Naruto raises his hands as he jumps onto a roof. Naruto forms a Rasengan in his hands as he raises them. Naruto expands the ball, adding a little Kyuubi's chakra to it. The ball becomes half the size of Gamabunta. Shit, I can't make it that big anymore since I'm low on chakra. And I don't want to risk using too much of Kyuubi's chakra. After all, I used most of his chakra up during the battle. Chaodama Rasengan Daibakuha bomb, shouts Naruto before throwing the ball. The giant Rasengan hits the Hollow's stomach and explodes, sending it to the ground. Naruto falls onto his knees. But the Hollow rises, but it has a giant hole in its chest. Its right arm completely gone and its left hand gone as well. Its nose was ripped to shreds with a quarter of its mask. Shit, it was too weak. Ichigo and Uryu gape at the Hollow, then turn to Naruto in disbelief at what he just said. Uryu then touches Ichigo's sword. We need to think off a better plan now. Suddenly his bow increases to 10 times its normal size. Anyway, what will I try next? Ichigo looks at Uryu and points at his bow. What the hell did you do? How did your bow get so big? Just be quiet and listen. I think there might be an actual way to defeat this thing. And I need you to do it. The giant Menos Grande walks over the Ichigo, Uryu and Naruto. Now we are ready to fight that thing, said Uryu with Ichigo's Zanpukto on his head and tied there by a cloth. You're nuts. This won't work, said Ichigo. Wait, just do as I say. You've got to release all of your spirit energy at once while we're connected. That way I should be able to harness the power to shoot an enormous arrow. That's the best way to use all of your energy. Because right now you're just wasting it. Well, you don't have to be so insulting about it, replies Ichigo with a bored look. Quit taking things so personally and just release that energy already. How do I do that? You mean you really don't know? Then what's been your method of fighting with the Hollows all this time? Just instinct, replies Ichigo. Uryu's eyebrows twitch. Just instinct, but that's impossible. I never really understood that stuff. I just thought that my Reiatsu was always at its maximum level. A shadow appears above them as the Hollow forms a red ball of Reiatsu in front of T's mouth. Oh no, Asiro, does he intend to release a Doom Blast right here? You've got to run all off you. If you get hit by that, there'll be nothing left of you, said Rukia. Ichigo, grab that sword and let's do it, said Uryu, but Ichigo grabs his sword and starts running. Not like that. Let's do it together. Once Ichigo is under the Hollow, it opens its mouth and launches a red beam upon Ichigo. Ichigo blocks with his Zanpukto. The energy blows Uryu away. Ichigo continues to block. I'm feeling extraordinary spiritual pressure. Ichigo's power is rising. I figured my Reiatsu was always at its maximum, said Ichigo's voice in a flashback way. How can that be? If someone's Reiatsu was always at maximum, it would always drain away in no time no matter how much he had. Ichigo says he can control his Reiatsu at all. He must have an incredible amount to let it spill out the way he does and still have more. It's like a tap that's been left on with the water gushing out. Most people would turn it off. But if Ichigo was to do that, his Reiatsu would stay bottled up and his spiritual pressure would skyrocket just like it is now. And in an incident, that spiritual pressure was to be released. I think it's time, said Urahara. Suddenly Ichigo breaks free from the attack and cuts upwards, making the Hollow retreat. As his Reiatsu sends the winds blowing, causing everyone to cover their eyes. The Menos retreated, said Uryu. Ichigo pants and sweats before forming the peace sign. I win, shouts Ichigo. Unbelievable, what is he, asks Uryu. Now I understand why the boss wanted to keep a close eye on this one, said Tessai. The crack in the sky disappears. Well, what's the matter, Ryu? You don't have anything to say. I just saved your butt and cleaned up your mess too. It seems like you could at least say thank you or congratulations or something, said Ichigo before collapsing. That's weird, I can't move. Suddenly his Zanpukto starts glowing red. What's happening? The Zanpukto, it's breaking down. Ichigo released all of his Reiatsu at one time. It looks like it put too much strain on his body, said Rukia. I've got to do something before it's too late. I'm useless, said Naruto. Shut it, Kit. You're not useless. Who was the one that defeated an army of over 300,000? Who was it that killed Orochimaru, Manda and Akatsuki? Besides, your body still isn't completely healed like you thought. For some reason your body is using twice the normal amount of chakra. It seems you need to start practicing chakra control, said Kyuubi. Thanks, Kyuubi, replies Naruto. Ryu runs over and places his foot on the Zanpukto. A giant bow appears. Must endure the pain, said Ryu. The Quincy shoots of a giant arrow. I think I can save Ichigo if I release his Reiatsu bit by bit. By firing arrows till his energy level stabilizes. Ryu continues to launch arrows into the air. What do you think you're doing, asks Ichigo. Shut up. But Ryu, your arm is getting torn apart. I said shut up. How many times do I have to tell you? I'm doing this so I can make sure I have someone to pummel in the future. Stay alive, Shinigami, as I can beat the hell out of you. And so you can try to do the same for me, Ichigo. Damn it, my need to prove myself against Shinigami is responsible for all of this. Forgive me, sensei. I've always blamed Shinigami for your death so that I couldn't blame myself. Because I wasn't willing to risk my life to save you. But I know you never hated Shinigami. Your sincerest wish was for Quincy and Shinigami to join together. So today I'm going to save a Shinigami's life. I was a weak apprentice. A weak apprentice unable to give his life for you. Can you ever forgive me, grandfather, said thinks Ryu as he launches arrows during his thoughts. At the end the light disappears and he falls onto his knees. Naruto drags himself over. How am I supposed to beat up that guy? He's so pathetic, said Ichigo. He may be, but he did just save your life, Ichigo, said Naruto as he slowly stands but falls down cursing to the heavens. Rukia and Kon run over. Urahara, Janada, Uraru and Tessai walk over as well. So who won, asks Kon. I had 150, said Uryu weakly. 151. I beat you, said Ichigo. Suckers, I beat you both with 863, said a childish Naruto. Trying to stand but curses his luck. I wish I could drink my sake, mumbles Naruto under his breath. So in total you guys killed over 1,164 hollows, said Urahara with an impressed whistle, only to be hit by a senbon needle in the privates. Urahara quivers as more needles stick into him, making him look like a cactus tree. Shut up, Urahara. I really need my sake, said Naruto before he falls asleep. Naruto sighs as he stops running around Karakura and starts doing push-ups. I really must get back into shape. That 1-month nap really slowed me down. Naruto continues doing push-ups. I still can't believe running around Karakura once is like running around Konoha 4 times. I mean, I ran 100 laps and that equals to 340 times around Konoha. Blimey, these people build big towns. I'd hate to see the cities. And I managed to boost my weights to 5,000 each. Now I'm wearing 20,000 pounds. And my gravity weights are at times 15. Naruto continues with his push-ups when Ichigo walks over. Naruto, what ya doing at 9 am in the morning, asks Ichigo. Exercises. I've been up since 3 am running 100 laps around Karakura. Now I'm going to do 400 push-ups, sit-up, tree punches, tree kicks, vertical sword slashes, downward sword slashes, upward sword slashes and unsheathing and sheathing my swords. Then 800 sword slashes from left to right. Then I'm going to repeat everything from the top. Before doing tree climbing. Walking up and down 700 times. Walking on water for 3 hours. Spin a kunai on each fingertip for 2 hours. It may seem impossible in one day. But I've got a time distortion jutsu on. 1 day in here is equal to an hour in the real world. I only use the distortion jutsu for everything but the laps. Plus with a gen jutsu on me no one will see, said Naruto as he continues doing push-ups. Ichigo sweat drops before sighing. So when's my next training lesson? I'm putting your training off for now. But why? I need to train more, protests Ichigo. Ichigo, I have talked to Rukia about teaching you how to control and sense Reiatsu. And she will teach you, kiddo, said Naruto, still doing push-ups. Now don't you have school? Now leave. Ichigo nods and walks off. Naruto sighs as he continues doing push-ups. 1 hour in the real world later. Naruto sweats and pants as he spins a kunai on each fingertip while sitting on water. When a hollow appears, Naruto growls before stopping. The hollow starts to come out of a black hole, only to have a kunai embedded in its forehead, cleansing it. and sends it to Soul Society. The kunai drops as Naruto walks over and picks it up. Stupid hollow was disturbing my exercises, grumbles Naruto as he walks up a tree with a kunai, balancing one at fingertip again. Hours pass by, more like days, as Naruto continues his exercises. After 10 more days in his world he stops. Naruto is covered in sweat. Naruto deactivates his jutsu and walks to the Kurosakis. Naruto arrives as Ichigo walks through the gates. "Well, how was training?" asked Ichigo. "Very pleasant if you must know." "How was training with Rukia?" Naruto catches Ichigo mumbling sadistic bitch. Naruto laughs as the two walk into the house. "I'm home," shouted Ichigo. Issen kicks him in the face. "You're late again," said Issen. "Shut up, I was studying with Rukia," said Ichigo, half lie half truth. He was with Rukia but not studying. "Why didn't you tell your dear old dad you were in love?" shouted Issen, only to be roundhouse kicked by Ichigo's long legs, sending him flying across the room. Naruto sighs as he pulls out a bottle of sake and starts drinking. "Hey Ichigo, getting lovey-dovey with Miss Kichiki," teased Naruto. "Shut your mouth," replied Ichigo. "Oh, don't be so cold." "Fair," replied Ichigo before sitting down to eat. Naruto laughs and everyone stares at him. "What, I got something on my face?" asked the Rakudame Hokage with a true smile. "Did he just laugh and smile?" asked Yuzu in shock. "What's wrong with that?" "It's just we never heard you laugh or seen you smile," answered Karen. "So it's not like I'm a robot. I am human after all." Stupid shinobi rule about ninja being tools and not supposed to show any emotions. "I'll make sure I change that rule when I get back," said Naruto. He mumbles that last part so no one hears him. Naruto sits down, drinks his sake and starts eating. "I mean, who cannot show emotions? If you were to get rid of your emotions, you're not human at all." "So I was like that, but now he's a good friend. Even though I don't see him often. Because he's always out on missions. He is an Anbu captain after all." Naruto sighs as he continues to eat. "I think I'll have a shower before going to bed. After all, I have a big day of training tomorrow again." The next day, 3 a.m. Naruto sighs as he changes into black baggy cargo pants. With a blood red and silver t-shirt. He wears a white ankle-length coat. With black and purple flames at the bottom with a picture of a 9-tailed blood red fox. With blood red eyes with black cat-like slits for pupils. Green and blue flames surrounding the fox as it stands in the middle of destruction. And for the finishing touch, his places the claymore in the middle of his back and a daido on each side of his waist. How appropriate that I bought this coat. Naruto runs around Karakura taking 4 hours to do 100 laps. Before he starts doing 500 push-ups after acting the time distortion jutsu. Naruto sighs as he continues doing his exercises for 3 days. Ichigo walks by once again to see Naruto doing upward sword slashes. "It seems you're exercising again. Shouldn't you be with Rukia? After all, it is Saturday and you're meant to be training with her all day." Yeah, I'm on my way now," said Ichigo before leaving. Naruto sighs as he sheaths his sword before unsheathing and doing the same process while counting out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, said Naruto. Naruto stops when he senses a strange Reiatsu. "I've been training to sense Reiatsu, but the two I sense are different. The first is as big as Ichigo's when not at maximum, but the other is 5 times Ichigo's. And they have the Reiatsu of a Shinigami. Don't tell me they're here to take Rukia. If I sense them attacking Rukia, I'll help. But for now, I'll keep an open mind." Naruto continues sheathing and unsheathing both daidos. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I must keep training. I need to become stronger to protect this town from the hollows. "Brat, you're giving me a headache," said Kyuubi in a feminine voice. "Why are you talking like a woman?" asked Naruto. "Because I am one idiot. Did you think I was a male all this time?" replied Kyuubi. This causes Naruto to trip under his own feet. Naruto rolls into a lake with surprise written all over his face. "Yeah, big shock, isn't it, Kit?" said the female fox demon. "I thought all demons were males. For a Hokage you can be pretty dumb. Rakubi and Mibi are females as well. You really thought that all demons were males? Then how do we reproduce, Baka?" "I see," said Naruto, nodding his head before standing up and using chakra to dry himself off. "I think I'll stop with my morning exercises and go into a spar," said Naruto before forming 500 clones, each able to use jutsus. Naruto smirks and runs forward before he starts kick and punching his clones. Naruto draws both daidos and starts cutting down his clones. "Suiton. Water Dragon Jutsu," shouted 10 clones. The clone summoned 10 giant water dragons that fly from the river. The dragons go after the original Naruto. Naruto runs for his life preparing hand signs. Naruto spins around. "Oten. Triple barrier mud dome," whispered Naruto before slamming his right foot on the ground. 3 giant mud domes surround Naruto. The dragons collide with the walls. The first crumbles along with the second, but the third, the inner wall, stands. The third wall then crumbles after a few seconds. Naruto smirks only to be hit by an 11th smaller water dragon, sending him into a cement wall. The cement wall cracks before breaking. Naruto grins as he runs forward before flashing behind his clones and cutting them down. Naruto quickly jumps out of the way of hundreds of flaming mud balls. Naruto backflips to dodge an air bullet. Naruto's clones form more clones, taking the number to 1,200. All the clones charge at Naruto, who summons 500 mud clones. The shadow clones run forward with kunai. The mud clones take out shuriken and throw them. The mud clones then use the shuriken cage bunshin no jutsu. The shuriken multiply and wipe out all the shadow clones. The mud clones turn on Naruto and attack. Naruto rolls to the side before roundhouse kicking a mud clone, turning him into mud. Naruto throws 8 shuriken, destroying 8 more. But the mud clones summon 500 shadow clones. 9 down, 491 to go. Now it's 991, said Naruto as he starts doing hand signs. Suiten. Giant Grand Water Dragon Jutsu, shouts Naruto, summoning over half of his chakra to form into a giant water dragon as big as a skyscraper. The dragon flies at the mud clones and shadow clones. The giant water dragon eliminates every last one before exploding, sending water everywhere. The water sends Naruto into the river again. Naruto grumbles as he dries himself off. Naruto then pulls out some soldier pills and eats one, refilling his chakra reserves. Man, this doesn't even seem as a workout anymore. I wish Sasuke, Neji, Lee or Shino were here. Even Kakashi, Tsunade and Jiraiya. They were always great sparring partners, said Naruto. I wonder how long until I get home, Naruto asked himself as he summons 10 fire bunshin, each with 10% of his chakra. Naruto pops another soldier pill in his mouth to boost his chakra reserves to full capacity. The clones charge at Naruto with their claymores drawn. Naruto blocks before kicking one, but the clone blocks. Naruto goes to stab him, but the clone leaf shushens behind Naruto. Naruto spins his legs around, sending the clone into another. Both clones go up in flames. The other 8 run at Naruto, who forms a Rasengan. Naruto plunges it into the first before pulling out a kunai and putting it in the second's head. The 2 go up in flames as Naruto stabs another with a Chidori before putting chakra into his right sandal, making a knife pop out at the top. Naruto swings his leg over the top of the exploding flames of the third. Naruto stabs the fourth in the head with the knife in his shoe. Naruto then headbutts another before throwing him into a river. Naruto uses the initial lotus on the sixth. The sixth goes up in flames. Naruto then throws 3 shuriken behind him, which destroys the clone in the river. Naruto then ducks under a punch before uppercutting the 7th and roundhouse kicking him into a pole. The 8th runs at Naruto, who forms another Rasengan and plunges it into its chest. The 8th goes up in flames as well. Naruto sighs, still no challenge. Naruto then performs some more hand signs. Ninja Secret Art Doten. Stone Golem Jutsu, whispered Naruto. Suddenly rocks start to form into a giant man-type being. The being known as Golem attacks Naruto. Naruto rolls out of the way before forming a Rasengan to destroy a boulder heading for him. Naruto runs forward with another Rasengan and destroys another boulder. Naruto runs forward and forms another Rasengan and destroys the Golem's right foot, causing the Golem to fall into the river. Naruto then sighs and summons a water dragon. The water dragon collides with the Golem, destroying it completely. Even my golems are no challenge, said Naruto before drawing blood, but maybe the Kyuubi will. Fuchius no Jutsu. Come forth, Kyuubi no Kitsune humanoid form, whispered Naruto before slamming his palm on the ground. Smoke rises and starts to clear, and there is the humanoid form of the Kyuubi no Kitsune. There stands a beautiful woman with a black tight battle kimono showing off her curves. She has 9 red fox tails swaying in the wind. With red fox ears. She has long silky blood red hair. She has blood red eyes with black cat-like slits for pupils. She has a giant Zanpukto that is even bigger than Zabuza's. The Zanpukto is even bigger and thicker than Ichigo's Zanpukto, reaching at about 2.6 meters long and 75 centimeters wide. She also has a scythe on her back. The scythe blade is about 1.2 meters long and 50 centimeters thick. The pole of the scythe is about 3 meters long. I know what I'm saying. She's the freaking Kyuubi, so of course she'd having something that big and long. Her chest is at least a C, and she has claws. So this is your humanoid form, said Naruto, staring in shock at her and the giant weapons. Naruto stares in a trance. You like? Teased Kyuubi. Naruto shakes his head, getting himself out of his trance. Okay, whatever, now come on, I want to spar, said Naruto. Kyuubi smirks as Naruto runs forward. Naruto draws his claymore and swings it, but Kyuubi blocks with her claws. Before drawing her giant Zanpukto and swinging it with ease. Naruto gulps as he jumps into the air. Naruto quickly draws his right Daido to block the giant and long side. Naruto curses as he is thrown into a river. Come on, Naruto-kun. Can't you at least show me your real strength, asks Kyuubi in a non-demonic voice. Naruto smirks before releasing all his seals and weights. Naruto disappears, leaving an after image of him. The blonde Hokage zips around Kyuubi looking hazy. Naruto swings both Daidos in a horizontal slash. But Kyuubi blocks with her giant Zanbatu. Naruto curses as the giant blade gets him on the shoulder. Kyuubi swings her Zanbatu. Kyuubi hits Naruto in the shoulders with the flat side of her Zanbatu, sending him flying. As soon as a single toe touches the ground, Naruto appears behind Kyuubi going in for kill. But Kyuubi hits him with the flat side of her Zanbatu, sending him flying once again. Naruto-kun, you're still holding back, said Kyuubi pouting. Naruto throws 8 shuriken and multiplies them into 800. Kyuubi sighs and uses her Zanbatu as a shield to block all the shuriken. Naruto curses as he eats a soldier pill and runs forward, pumping chakra throughout his entire body. She's strong. Of course she'd be strong, and I can't use her chakra either since I summoned her. Damn right, Kit, replied Kyuubi in Naruto's mind. How the hell can you hear my thoughts? Oh, that's right, we're still connected. Seems you're not as dumb as I thought. Naruto growls at her for that and runs forward. Naruto throws a 3-pronged kunai into the air and uses the kunai cage bunshin no jutsu to surround Kyuubi in them. Naruto then starts flashing to each one, trying to hit Kyuubi. Keyword trying. But Naruto fails every time. You're too slow, Kit, replies Kyuubi as she hits Naruto like a golf ball, sending him flying into a brick wall, forming a human print in it. Naruto growls as he charges at her. Claymore in his mouth and a Daido in each hand. Naruto runs forward and attacks. Kyuubi breaks his claymore in two before roundhouse kicking him into a tree, snapping the tree in two. And here I thought you were stronger than this. Naruto growls again and runs forward, performing hand signs. Suiton. Giant Grand Water Dragon Jutsu, yells Naruto, summoning a giant water dragon the size of a skyscraper. The dragon flies at Kyuubi, who smirks and performs her own hand signs. Oten. Kitsune Mudwall, whispered Kyuubi before slamming a tail into the ground. A giant wall appears with a picture of a fox on it. The giant water dragon collides with the wall, sending water everywhere. Naruto stands atop the water, same as Kyuubi. Naruto stares in shock as the wall still stands. Kyuubi then smashes it with her Zanbatu. Naruto-kun, is that the best you got, asked Kyuubi with a sadistic grin. Without even blinking, Kyuubi is behind Naruto. She kicks him and sends him across the river into an abandoned building. Naruto curses as he stands groaning in pain. I can't even land a hit. Come on, Kid. Naruto then performs more hand signs. Suddenly around the two a giant black demonic barrier forms. Naruto then starts performing hand signs for one of his strongest jutsu. Something similar to the Grim Lightning Phoenix but of Suiton. After performing the necessary hand signs, Naruto grins. Suiton. Grim Water Phoenix, shouts Naruto. Suddenly all the water in the river in the dome rises into a giant phoenix made of water. The phoenix flies at Kyuubi. The temperature drops as everything turns to solid ice. The ground turns to ice. Kyuubi smirks as the phoenix collides with her, sending water everywhere. The water turns to ice. Next the ice shatters and reforms. Kyuubi stands there, her muscles shivering. And never expected you to use this, replies a shiver Kyuubi as her teeth chatter a bit. As another giant phoenix collides with her and freezes everything over, not even the sun can melt it. Snow starts to form and cover the area within the dome. Kyuubi gasps in the cold as ice and snow covers her body. I've heady enough of TT, this, said Kyuubi performing hand signs, and ends with a tiger. Payton. Grim Fire Fox, shouts Kyuubi. She transforms into a giant flaming fox, causing the ice to melt. Naruto summons another giant phoenix, the two creatures collide. Steam rises as ice forms and melts everywhere. The dome starts cracking. Kyuubi lands on the ground panting and sweating. Naruto stands slowly before eating another soldier pill. The part of the river inside the dome is dry. The dome breaks, causing the river to reform. Naruto smirks. It seems you had to bring out that jutsu. I really hate those 5 grim phoenixes you made. One for Doton, Katen, Suiton, Futon and Raiten. They really piss me off. Sure, that was the first one used on me, but they can be so annoying after you use them, said Kyuubi. Done anyway. Kyuubi then goes up in smoke. Naruto sighs and stands. In her spot is a Zanbatu 1.8 meters long and 50 centimeters wide. With a picture of a blood-red 9-tailed fox. A little apologizer for breaking your claymore, said Kyuubi. Naruto smirks and grabs it. He picks up and struggles to hold it. How heavy is this thing? About 500 pounds. Naruto sweat drops and places it on his back before resetting his seals and his gravity weights, but not his chakra weights. I'll leave my chakra weights off so I can get used to this Zanbatu without the extra weight, said Naruto as he walks off to get his all-time favorite meal. Ramen. Naruto arrives at a ramen stand and grins. Yo, bring me an extra large bowl of miso ramen with beef and chicken. "Forget, bring me an extra large bowl of miso ramen with the works," shouts Naruto. The owner of the store, an old man in his 60s, nods and starts cooking. Naruto smiles as his ramen arrives. Instantly he starts eating, finishing it off in 5 seconds before ordering more. An hour and 153 bowls of ramen later, Naruto leaves paying the bill. The owner and his wife stare with stars in their eyes at their savior of their next bill. Naruto calls back to them, "I'll be back tomorrow." The two stare and smile and start dancing around. "This teacher gig pays a lot. It's helping me buy sake and ramen. Ramen, the food of the gods. He may be the Hokage, but he still loves his ramen, the so-called food of the gods." Naruto walks back to the Kurosakis when he feels the two Ryatsus from before near Rukia's, along with Uryu's. Naruto curses and runs for dear life in her direction. Naruto senses Uryu attack, then he senses him fade away. Naruto curses and keeps running as he senses Ichigo over there. Naruto runs and runs. With Ichigo. Ichigo stands in front of two Shinigami. The first is wearing the black kimono but has tattoos all over his body with red hair. With his Zanpukto looking like a katana. "So you're the one that stole Rukia's powers," said the man. "Who are you?" asks Ichigo. "Lieutenant Renji Abarai of the 6th Division. And he's Captain Byakuya Kichiki of the 6th Division," said Renji, pointing to the Byakuya. He is a moderately tall man. With a green scarf around him. He has white gloves, son, wearing a black kimono and hakama and a white obi sash. He has his Zanpukto by his waist. "Ichigo, stop, you can't win," said Rukia, but Ichigo ignores her and attacks. "Roars Abamaru," shouts Renji. His Zanpukto turns into a 6-piece segmented blade attached by a stretchable thread. Renji flicks his wrist, sending his Zanpukto at Ichigo. Ichigo rolls to the side but gets hit on the shoulder from behind. "Zabamaru Snake Tail. You named your Zanpukto?" asked Ichigo. "I did not name him, he named himself. All Zanpuktos have a name, you must find out what that name is. Since you don't know the name of your Zanpukto, you're useless," replied Renji before attacking again. Back with Naruto. Naruto continues to run. He releases his seals and gravity weights. Before he runs for dear life as he senses Ichigo fighting the weaker on. Suddenly the weaker one's Ryatsu rises. Naruto curses and runs faster. Naruto runs past civilians, causing the wind to send them backwards. He causes skirts to fly. The girls grab their skirts, making sure that no one sees. Naruto continues to run. He's not a pervert, by the way. Naruto causes newspapers to fly as he runs past a newspaper stand. Naruto runs atop the water, causing it to fly into the air. Naruto runs up a tree and starts leaping from branch to branch. Every one time he lands on a branch and jumps off, it snaps. Naruto lands on the ground running and running as he senses Ichigo's Ryatsu rise to its maximum and getting the upper hand on the other one. Naruto smiles and continues running. Damn it, they're so far away. And Ichigo's Ryatsu is not as big as the other one. And I sense Ichigo using the lightning strike. Naruto continues running, sending leaves into the air. He causes a man sleeping on a park bench to fly into a tree. Naruto leaps over a litter bin and turns. Naruto runs into a tree, making it break, but he leaps onto it. And runs along it as it lands on the opposite side of a river. Naruto jumps over a bridge. When he senses Ichigo's Ryatsu die down. His Ryatsu becomes faint. Naruto curses and channels his Enkai Ubis throughout his body and starts running on all fours. Naruto finally arrives to watch Ichigo's blood splatter everywhere and fall onto the ground. Naruto quickly forms a water clone. The blonde then appears in front of his student and stares at the two. Ichigo lies on the ground in a pool of his own blood with a broken Zanpukto. "It seems I missed the party. Anyway, what did you do to my student? Talk now or I'll force you," said Naruto, preparing some hand signs. "It seems he can see us," said Byakuya. "What you going to do, human?" asked Renji. "Suiton. Mass water dragon jutsu," shouts Naruto. Suddenly 15 4-meter tall water dragons appear out of thin air. The dragons then attack. "Roars Abamaru," shouts Renji. His Zanpukto transforms and attacks. The Zanpukto rips through 3 dragons. But Renji then gets hit by a 4th. The dragon flies into the air with Renji before colliding with the ground, forming a small crater. The others attack Byakuya. You disappear and reappears somewhere else and cuts through the dragons until he's faced with Naruto. He did all this within a blink of the eye. Byakuya, still in a blink of an eye, cuts Naruto along the chest and shoulders. But instead of blood, water sprays everywhere. Naruto then turns to water. Suddenly Byakuya's blood is sprayed into the water. He just stands as Naruto appears behind him holding a Daido. "So I was fighting a fake?" "No, actually that was me, but right before you attacked I switched myself with a water clone I formed earlier, and then once my clone burst I attacked," explained Naruto. Renji stares in shock as Naruto puts his Daido away and draws his Zanbatu. "Captain Kichiki, I'll take care of this, you head back to Soul Society," said Renji. Byakuya walks over and opens up a portal with sliding doors. A bright light appears as Byakuya pushes Rukia into it. "Rukia, don't worry, we'll save you," said Naruto as she disappears. Then Byakuya walks in himself. But before he does, he turns to Naruto. "My name is Byakuya Kichiki, captain of the 6th division." Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Rakudame Hokage of Konoha," replied Naruto. Byakuya nods and leaves. "So who are you?" asked Naruto, pointing to Renji. Renji Aburai, lieutenant of the 6th division." "Lieutenant, hey, so that means you're under his command." "That's right," replied Renji before attacking. Naruto sighs and summons a wall of fire to block Renji's attack. Renji jumps back, shielding his eyes. Naruto then performs some quick one-handed signs while putting his Zanpukto away. "Raiden." "Lightning claws," whispered Naruto. He channels lightning elemental chakra to his fingers. His nails before 8 centimeters long as they surges with electricity. Naruto runs forward, dodging Renji's attack. Naruto then claws at him. Renji moved back a step to dodge. Naruto smirks. "Shock," whispered Naruto. Lightning then shoots out from the end of his right claw and hits Renji. The red-haired Shinigami yells in pain as he takes a step back. "My claws are able to shock anyone within a 2-meter radius," said Naruto as he jumps back. Naruto gets into a stance, his front claw forward with his claws facing down. The back of his hand facing Renji. His left down to the ground so the nails touch. He then leans back and crouches down. Renji sends Zabumaru at Naruto. And with one quick movement grabs the top of Zabumaru. "Surge and shock," whispered Naruto. Lightning surges through Zabumaru. It then hits Renji, electrocuting him. "You said that the enemy had to be in a 2-meter radius." "You were, though. The surge ability will send the lightning through any object I want and attack by the shock function," replied Naruto as he runs forward, swinging his claws. Renji jumps 2.10 meters back every time or more to dodge. Before sending Zabumaru forward when he found an opening. But Naruto would always grab Zabumaru and electrocute him. "I'm gone," said Renji before opening up a portal and jumping through it. Naruto sighs before he walks over to Ichigo and finds Urahara already there with Tessai. "So you were able to fend off a lieutenant, impressive," said Tessai. "He was weak," said Naruto. Naruto then follows Tessai and Urahara back to the shop. Where they put Ichigo's soul back into his body and treat both his and Ryu's wounds. "So what now?" asked Naruto. "Ichigo has lost his powers of a Shinigami, but we're going to help him regain them with training. That's if he accepts the chance to save Rukia," answered Urahara. Naruto nods. "I might as well help train Chad, Ryu and Orihime. But with only 5 of us going, it doesn't seem like we have much of a chance to win," said Naruto. "5?" asked Tessai. "Yeah, I'm going. But we should at least have 2 or more. I know Tatsuki is able to see a bit, but I doubt she'll be able to go." "Why don't you send Tessai, Janada and Ururu with us or yourself?" Urahara said. Naruto. "I'm not the fighting type. Besides, we need to be here to defeat the hollows that attack." "Yeah, I guess you're right. Besides, if I'm going to help train them, I might train Orihime to be the medic and genjutsu expert of the team. Chad could be trained in defense. I mean, Ichigo already has a few attack-based jutsus that could help. But I fear that if I continue to train him in the shinobi arts, he will become lazy off using his Shinigami powers." "You're right there," said Urahara. "And tomorrow is the last day of school too. That's when we can start training them," said Naruto. Urahara nods his head in agreement. "But question, how long till her execution?" "We'll have about 30 days. So that's 10 days to train, 7 days to open the gate, and 13 days to find and rescue her," said Urahara. "You train Ichigo for those 10 days, and I'll train Orihime, Ryu and Chad," said Naruto when a black cat walks in with yellow eyes. "Yes, but you'll only have 3 days to train them," said the cat. "What are you, a summon?" "My name is Uruchi Shinuen. And I'm not a summon, whatever that is," said the black cat. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. "And why will I only get 3 days?" "Because for the other 7 I'll be training them to control their powers. After that you can take over. If they finish up early I'll tell you so you can train them." "Alright, deal." Later that night. Ichigo wakes and finds himself face to face with Tessai, who is lying on top of him. Ichigo yells at the top of his lungs. "Oh, what a good reaction." "Quite excellent," said Tessai. Ichigo grabs his face and starts trying to throw him off. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" yelled Ichigo. "Boss, you wanted me to let you know the moment." Ichigo woke up. "Well, he's awake," shouted Tessai. "Wait a minute, you work for Mr. Hat and Clogs, don't you? Why are you under the covers with me?" Ichigo throws Tessai off him and jumps up wearing red track pants. His chest and shoulders wrapped in bandages. Ichigo grunts in pain as he grabs his left shoulder. "Hey, I'm not dead, why not? Once more, this isn't my house. Where am I?" Suddenly a sliding door opens to reveal Naruto and Urahara. "Ichigo, you need to just relax. We were barely able to patch you up. If you move around too much you'll die." "You really think my medical skills are that bad?" "He won't die at all," said Naruto as he points at Urahara. Naruto looks at Naruto's arms, which are wrapped in bandages. Naruto then leaves and hears Ichigo and Urahara speaking in the background. "Oh, and Ichigo, don't forget tomorrow's the last day of school," said Naruto before vanishing in a swirl of leaves. Naruto sighs as he walks through the school grounds. Naruto wears a black t-shirt with a skull surrounded in purple flames. He has black cargo pants with 2 kunai and shuriken holsters under each leg. He wears a snow-white cape with a picture of a blood-red 9-tailed fox demon surrounded in black flames. He wears black gloves that don't cover his fingers. He wears a black ring on each finger. He has his Zanpukto on his back under a genjutsu wrapped in bandages. Naruto sighs as he walks over to Ichigo. Ichigo waves Naruto with a smile. But Naruto smirks. He's sad that Rukia left and he couldn't do a thing. "Ichigo, you don't need to mask your feelings. It's never good, I know from experience. Even though I still mask mine," thought Naruto. "What do you mean?" asked Ichigo with a smile. "You can fool me, Ichigo. I was a ninja and still am. And I was a very good one at that, might I remind you," said Naruto from behind Ichigo. Ichigo turns around and stares into Naruto's cold, dead, lifeless eyes. Naruto slips his mask back on. His eyes become happy and full of lie. He gives a fake smile before putting his hands in his pockets and walks off. Naruto looks around and notices no one remembers Rukia. So no one remembers except me and Rukia. I don't even see Uryu, and I thought he would remember her. I used the same thing Rukia used on Orihime and the others to erase their memories of her. Naruto curses out loud. Naruto grabs his Zanpukto and swings it into a wall, destroying the wall partially. Naruto sighs, walks off to release some stress. Naruto flame shushens to the abandoned hospital. Naruto draws his Zanpukto and starts destroying anything he comes across. Naruto forms 10 shadow clones and rips them apart. More clones appear as Naruto shreds through them. His Zanpukto destroys glass objects, sending glass everywhere. He stabs a wall and pulls out his Zanpukto, causing the wall to crumble. Naruto destroys wall after wall before forming a Rasengan to blow up a broken elevator. Naruto falls into a fit of rage as his eyes become blood red with black cat-like slits for pupils. Naruto bursts through another wall. The blonde sheaths his Zanpukto and starts doing hand signs. "Peyton. Unforgiving Phoenix Jutsu," shouted Naruto. He is then surrounded in flames as a phoenix takes flight and flies through the hospital. The phoenix is 4 meters long with a wingspan of 8 meters. The hospital bursts into flames as Naruto leaps out and performs more hand signs. "Suiton. Rasengan tidal wave jutsu," shouted Naruto, forming a Rasengan in hand. Water starts to form in the Rasengan, increasing its size to 10 meters wide and 10 meters tall. Naruto slams the Rasengan into the ground. The Rasengan collects water molecules from the ground. The Rasengan then explodes, causing a giant tidal wave to appear. The tidal wave collides with the hospital, causing it to flood. The flood puts out the flames. Naruto sighs as he flames shushens away. Naruto appears in an abandoned warehouse. "This looks like a better place to release my stress. Like Hiro-san said, I should release my stress by destroying something. And besides, more room in here," said Naruto before filling the entire room with shadow clones. Equal to 15,561 clones. Naruto draws his Zanpukto. The Zanpukto chops 8 shadow clones in half just by being drawn. Naruto leaps into the air as the clones try to escape. Naruto lands and starts chopping. Naruto summons a Rasengan and destroys 15 clones at once. Naruto cuts down 10 more. Naruto continues to chop away as his clones run out of the building. Naruto's clones run around town as Naruto chases them under a genjutsu so that only he can see his clones and they can see him. Naruto destroys every single clone he sees. Naruto continues this for 3 hours until he finally kills the last one. Naruto sweats in pants before eating a soldier pill and forming over 100 clones to chase again. Naruto eats another soldier pill as he runs after his clones again. Naruto releases all his chakra and gravity weights along with seals. Naruto runs past his clones, cutting them in the process. Naruto turns to the right and tackles a clone, making it poof out of existence. Naruto jumps over a lamp post and runs up the side of a building, chasing his clones. Naruto smiles as he destroys his clones. "This is the only fun I can have now that I'm here. Clone hunting. I remember I did this back in Konoha when I couldn't train with the others. So I just spent the day killing off my clones." Naruto forms 500,000 more clones to make the hunt even longer. Naruto gives an evil smile as he runs after his clones, chopping away. Naruto forms a set of hand signs for one of his favorite jutsus, but upgraded. The hand signs being ram, rat, tiger, horse, ox and snake. Naruto eats a soldier pill quickly before calling out the name of the jutsu and using it. "Suiton. Great giant grand water dragon jutsu," shouted Naruto, using up to half of his chakra to form the giant water dragon. But he adds more chakra, making it the size of 1.5 skyscrapers. The giant water dragon flies around Karakura, eliminating all clones in its sight. After wiping out over 300,000 clones, the dragon explodes, causing it to rain all over Karakura for 10 minutes before stopping. Usually it rains blood when I use the jutsu, said Naruto as he eats a soldier pill before continuing. I'm glad I bought 15 years supply of soldier pills. Naruto runs around again, slicing his clones in half. Naruto throws 4 shuriken, destroying 4 more. Naruto grabs his shuriken and throws them again. Hey, a ninja needs to keep his skills up and not get rusty. Especially the Hokage. Naruto spots 15 of his clones running in a straight line. Naruto runs past them, swinging his Zanpukto, destroying them completely. Naruto jumps over a hot dog stand and spins around before using the Gatsuga of the Inuzuka clan to rip through another clone. Naruto smirks as he lands. A group of 50 clones jump at Naruto. Peyton yelled, Naruto releasing chakra from all Tenketsu, forming a giant dome of chakra to blow the clones away, destroying them. Naruto smiles as he spends the rest of the day destroying his clones. Naruto sighs as enters his mind. Naruto comes face to face with the Kyuubi. Kyuubi, do you know of a place where I can train in peace? Asked Naruto. Kyuubi walks out of her cage in her humanoid form. She wears a pink kimono with flower prints. On her back is her halberd and Zanpukto. Of course, kid. You can always train in my realm. The demon world. Time passes slowly there. You can get 1 year worth of training there and only a day passes here. And you do not age either. Tell me how to open this portal. First you must summon me in my humanoid form so I may open a portal. Fine, replied Naruto before he leaves his mind. In the real world, Naruto draws blood and performs some hand signs. Kuchiyus no jutsu, come forth Kyuubi no kitsune humanoid form, whispered Naruto before slamming his palm on the ground. Smoke rises as the form of the Kyuubi in her humanoid form appears. Kyuubi grins before unsheathing her Zanpukto before channeling demonic chakra into it. Next thing, she stabs the air. The blade disappears as she turns the hilt, opening a black hole. Come on kid, just step in, said Kyuubi before she steps in. Naruto sighs and follows her lead. Naruto appears in a tropical forest. Naruto raises an eyebrow. I thought there would be nothing but destruction. Fit, there are many worlds in here. This is where all the fox demons reside, including the fox summons. This is my domain. I'm the ruler of this world. But out of all the demons here, only 10 have become the strongest. Starting from the Ichibi to the Juubi no Ryu. The 10-tailed dragon demon. You human beings think there are only 9-tailed demons. The reason why is because Juubi no Ryu never leaves his throne. He dislikes humans, you might say, said Kyuubi. I see. Anyway, enough chit chat. You better get training. When you want to leave, just summon me, said Kyuubi before she goes up in smoke. Naruto sighs as he starts doing hand signs. This causes pillars of wood to shoot out of the ground and form into a house. Naruto sighs as he forms shadow clones to guard the house before he walks off to train. The next 7 years in the demon realm are spent training his body. Increasing his chakra reserves by at least 10-fold. Increasing his weights and seals as well. Training with his Zanpukto and increasing its weight. Increasing his jutsu's library as well. Increasing his chakra control. Naruto has also been training to have full control over the 9th tail. Naruto has also gone to the other worlds, even meeting the boss of the dragon, summons Juubi no Ryu during his 5th year of training. Flashback. Naruto stands in a temple and in front of him stand a tall man about 3.2 meters tall with long black hair. He wears a black battle kimono with armor like the Thirds. He has Zanpukto even bigger than Kyuubi's at 3 meters long and 80 centimeters wide. His eyes are green with yellow pupils. His eyes are slanted. He has human ears, but his hands are claws. He has 10 scaly spiked tails from his spine. He has 2 long whiskers, one on each side of his face. He has a strong green aurora around him. Who are you? Why are you in my throne room? Why are you in the demon realm, mortal? Shouted the man known as the Juubi no Ryu, the 10-tailed dragon demon. I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Rakudame Hokage and vessel of the Kyuubi no Kitsune. I am also the summoner of the toads, foxes and dragons. And I am here training for 7 years, replied Naruto. So you're her vessel and our new summoner and training him, said the Juubi no Ryu. Correct, Juubi no Ryu-sama, said Naruto bowing to the demon. At least you're more polite than our last summoner. Insolent bug he was. I almost killed him for trying to control us. A fool he was. His name was Madara Uchiha. I broke the contract with him many years ago. I'd say you're polite as our other summon before Madara killed him and took the scroll from. Sir, Madara Uchiha is dead. Is he now? Please tell me who killed him. I did. I killed him with ease, replied Naruto. The dragon laughs. Yuha, I don't fool me, mortal. Only a demon could kill him. It's true, I did. I'll even prove it to you by fighting against you in a battle. You dare challenge me to a fight, then fine, we shall, but after you finish your training, said Juubi no Ryu. And flashback. That's just like me to challenge an all-powerful demon, thought Naruto. The blonde Hokage appears in the dragon realm and walks into an arena. The stands are full of demons and summons ranging from lizards to foxes to dragons. Demons and summons of all kinds are here. Even the boss summons off each realm. Gamabunta and Kitsayu the toad and slug boss are even there. Yubi no Ryu appears in front of Naruto in his humanoid form, wearing the same clothing as their first meeting. Okay boy, the rules are no summons, and you are allowed to use the Kyuubi's chakra to only as many tails as you can maintain before she takes control, said Yubi no Ryu the dragon, then draws his giant Zanbatu, slamming it into the ground, making the entire stadium shake. Naruto smirks and draws his Zanbatu before running forward without his weights or seals. Naruto swings his Zanbatu. Yubi smirks and blocks before using his tails to attack Naruto. The blonde Hokage jumps back, forming a Rasengan in each hand. Inside is a flaming tornado. Naruto runs forward, dodging the tails. He plunges the attacks into Yubi's stomach, smirking. Pain. Rasengan tornado, yelled Naruto. The Rasengans explode, turning into giant flaming tornadoes. The tornadoes combine to together become as big as a skyscraper. The tornado burns everything around it. Many shield their eyes. Suddenly a strong wind blows the tornado away. Is that all you've got, asked the Yubi no Ryu in a mocking tone. Naruto smirks and performs some hand signs, being ram, rat, tiger, horse, ox and snake. Suiton. Great giant grand water dragon jutsu, shouted Naruto. He summons 1/10 of his chakra. Water molecules start to form into a giant water dragon. Naruto adds more chakra, using up 2/10. The giant dragon becomes the size of 2 skyscrapers. The Yubi lets a smile appear on his face as the dragon collides with him. The water dragon flies into the sky, bending, turning and twisting before colliding with the ground, exploding everywhere. Water falls from the sky with bits of blood. Not bad, mortal, said Yubi as he appears behind Naruto, but not good enough. Yubi kicks Naruto but is propelled by a barrier made of chakra. You feel into my trap, said Naruto, performing some quick hand signs. Secret Earth Jutsu. Deep forest creation, yelled Naruto. This shocks the entire crowd. Trees burst out of the ground and form into a thick forest in the stadium floor. I'm impressed there hasn't been a wood summoner boy for the dragons since the first Hokage, said Yubi. This shocks Naruto quite a bit. I've signed the same summoning scroll as the first. But I never saw his name. Madara probably erased the name, said Kyuubi. Naruto nods before running forward, forming 10 shadow clones reinforced with chakra. The 11 Narutos attack, but Naruto's clones are destroyed. Naruto forms a Rasengan and thrusts the attack into the demon's chest, sending him skidding backwards. Boy, you're boring me. Bring out her chakra already. You can't hope to defeat a demon by yourself. Naruto grins and runs forward, forming another Rasengan. He holds it above his head, adding wind chakra to it. The Rasengan forms into a windmill shuriken. Naruto appears in front of Yubi and plunges it into his chest. The windmill shuriken explodes. The chakra channels through Yubi's body, destroying all his cells. Yubi is sent flying into a wall covered in his blood with an arm missing. Naruto gasps in pain, holding his right arm. Yubi stands with a grin as his arm regrows. That wasn't that bad of an attack, boy. But still not good enough to beat me, said Yubi. Naruto runs forward and swings his Zanbatu. Yubi goes roll out of the way, but vines are holding him in place. As wood wraps around him. Yubi curses as he uses his free arm to block with his Zanbatu. He then uses his tails to free himself. He sends a tail that impales Naruto through the left shoulder. Naruto grits his teeth in pain. I'm going to bring out my strongest taijutsu move. It's strong but deadly to me, and you, said Naruto before he starts channeling chakra throughout his body. He then opens up the first 10 demonic gates. Explanation at end of chapter. Naruto then disappears. Yubi is sent into the air as Naruto uses the lightning surge throughout his body. But the lightning is 10 times stronger than normal. Kyuubi's chakra forms around him, amplifying the effects. Naruto starts kicking and pounding away with incredible speed. Yubi groans in pain. Naruto grits his teeth from the pain as he keeps attacking. After non-stop attacking for over half an hour, Naruto finishes it. Lightning forms around his body, sending shock waves through the ground. Lightning flies off his body. Lightning falls from the sky as Naruto runs at Yubi, who's lying in a pool of his own blood. Naruto kicks Yubi into the air and grabs him. The lightning in his body explodes outwards, shocking both with enough volts of electricity to kill over 500,000 African elephants, as Naruto increases his chakra output, increasing the amount. Both yell in pain as both collide with the ground. Naruto slowly stands, both arms paralyzed and his left leg. His arms are burnt as hell. They look like Orochimaru's after his fight with the third, but 100 times worse. When Yubi stands, he's the same, but his entire body won't respond completely. Impressive. What do you call that technique? I call it Grand Grim Deadly Lightning Barrage. It's deadly as hell. Most would die. The only exceptions are high-level demons or those with the demon's Hachibi and up sealed in them. It sends lightning surging through the opponent's body with every hit. The voltage incredibly high. High enough to kill a human right after contact. But this taijutsu move also causes damage to the user's body, but not as badly. Only about 5% off, said Naruto as he falls onto one knee. Naruto screams in pain as the electricity stored in his body takes effect. Now for the finishing move of this taijutsu. Naruto grabs Yuubi and the bolt of lightning explodes everywhere. Lightning bolts hit the stadium. Many demons run away along with the summons. Yuubi laughs in pain. One last explosion happens, causing smoke to rise. Once it clears, Naruto is lying on the ground. Yuubi smirks as still stands before he goes to walk away. Suddenly red chakra starts to engulf Naruto. It's not over, said Naruto. His nails grow longer. His jaw laws back. His eyes become blood red with black cat-like slits for pupils. 4 tails sprout from his back as the chakra turns black. There stands Naruto in his miniature Kyuubi form. 4 more tails sprout, giving him 8. He grows in size as the 9th one grows. And there stands a blood-red 9-tailed fox made of chakra. The Kyuubified Naruto roars as Yuubi smirks. "I'm on Yuubi no Ryu," said Naruto. "Interesting, you has full control of all 9 tails. Prepare yourself, human, you shall be the first human and second life form to ever to see my true form," said Yuubi no Ryu. He suddenly expands, his skin becomes scales. His body lengthens, and after a minute of transformations, there stands a giant black dragon with 10 long tails about the same length of 1 Kyuubi, tails and all. His body length is that of 2 Kyuubi's, tails and all. He has a set of horns facing to his tails. Yuubi no Ryu gives a terrifying roar, his tails slam into the ground, making it shake. Kyuubified Naruto roars and runs forward, attacking Yuubi no Ryu. The dragon roars and takes flight with a wingspan of 3 Kyuubi's, tails and all. Naruto growls. "Get, you're no match for him," said Kyuubi. "Shut up," said Naruto. The Kyuubified Naruto uses the great giant grand water dragon without hand signs. The dragon is 3 times its normal size as it collides with Yuubi no Ryu. Yuubi no Ryu blocks with his wings before sending the water dragon backwards. Yuubi no Ryu then fires a giant fireball from the skies. The fireball hits the water dragon and explodes, destroying it completely. Naruto growls and jumps into the skies, but Yuubi dodges. Yuubi hits Naruto with his tails. "This brat's good. But he won't ever beat me, he's just a human. Sure, he can use her powers, but she could never beat me either." Suddenly the Kyuubi's chakra retreats. Yuubi wonders why. "I'll prove that I can beat you without her chakra." "Boy, you're an idiot. I'm a demon and the king of the demons as well. You can never win by yourself." Naruto smirks and starts performing hand signs for a jutsu he calls Kaiten. Grimfire Phoenix. "Kaiten. Grimfire Phoenix jutsu," shouted Naruto. Flames surrounded the blonde Hokage. A giant black dome appears around the arena and under Naruto. A giant flaming phoenix appears around Naruto before it slams into the barrier before facing Yuubi no Ryu. Naruto pushes every single bit of his chakra into it. The phoenix collides with Yuubi no Ryu, sending flames everywhere. The heat radiation from the phoenix is felt outside the dome. Flames fill the dome as they try to escape. Yuubi no Ryu yells in pain as the flames burn him. The flames turn black as trees burst into flames from outside. Yuubi no Ryu screams, laughs in pain. The flames implode on Yuubi no Ryu. When they disappear, Yuubi no Ryu is lying on the ground in his demon form, scales burnt away. Tails burnt away as well. Blood covers him. His wounds start to heal as he slower stands. His wings completely gone, but new ones sprout from his back. His whiskers regrow, so do his horns, tails and scales. Yuubi no Ryu laughs as Naruto's wounds also heal from bad burns that completely show bones. His cloths burn to rags thanks to chakra protecting them from the flames, so they wouldn't burn completely. Yuubi no Ryu laughs as he picks up Naruto and takes him to his throne room after turning into his humanoid form. Later that night, Naruto awakes and finds his cloths aren't rags and his wounds are healed. He stands as Yuubi no Ryu walks in his humanoid form. "Brad, I don't know what you used, but it was damn good. I respect you. You may not have beaten me, but you did survive in our match. So I now believe you. And I give you permission to summon me in battle whenever you need my help. But it better not be against weaklings either." "Yes, Yuubi no Ryu. But I must leave for my world now," said Naruto. Yuubi no Ryu nods and draws his Zanpukto and does the same thing as Kyuubi. The portal opens to his world. "Just think of where you want to go and the portal will send you there." "Even to other worlds?" asks Naruto. Yuubi no Ryu nods. "I could return to my world. But Ichigo and the others will need me when the time comes," thought Naruto. The blonde jumps in with Karakura on his mind. A bright light surrounded Naruto as he appears in front of Urahara's shop. Naruto smirks. Naruto walks into the shop and finds an opening in the floor. Naruto jumps down and finds Ichigo wearing his Shinigami uniform. holding a giant butch knife in his hands for his Zanpukto with bandages wrapped around the end. Naruto grins as he walks over top Tessai, Ururu and Hinata. Yo, said Naruto standing next to Tessai. Ah, Namikaze, how have you been? Fine, I've just been in the demon realm training for 7 years. 7 days you mean, corrected Hinata. No, 7 years. In the demon realm 1 year will pass in that, but only a day will pass in the human world. But they don't age. It's different really, said Naruto. The three know understanding his explanation. Naruto catches as Ichigo and Urahara do battle. Naruto sighs. So do you guys know where Chad, Orihime and Uryu are, asked Naruto. Well, Uryu is training by himself while Orihime and Chad are with Uruchi. In a construction west of here about an hour's walk, said Hinata. Naruto then disappears in a swirl of leaves. Naruto reappears at the construction site. Just as a hole is blown in a wall. Naruto sighs as he sees Orihime, Chad and Uruchi run out of the building. Naruto walks over to them. Naruto-sensei, shouted Orihime with a smile. Uruchi, have they control over their powers, asked Naruto. Yes, they have. They are both able to access them at will now. So you may take over now, answered Uruchi. Naruto sighs as he looks at the two. Good. Chad, Orihime, your training with Uruchi ends now, and your training with me begins, said Naruto. He then grabs both and flames shushens away. The three appear in an abandoned warehouse. Naruto then places the time distortion jutsu on the warehouse. Okay, I've placed a time distortion jutsu on his warehouse. So 1 day in the real world is equal to a month in here. You'll have 3 months where I'll train you. Chad, I'm going to teach you defensive jutsus, mostly barriers, along with few ninjutsu. Orihime med jutsu and genjutsu. You two need more skills if you are to fight against the Shinigami. For the first week I'll teach you everything about me and everything about chakra. I'll even convert half your Ryatsu to chakra. That way you'll be able to learn my techniques. Even though technically I shouldn't even be doing this, but at the levels you are now, like I said before, you wouldn't stand a chance against the Shinigami, said Naruto. The two nods. 3 days, 3 months later. Orihime and Chad are panting and sweating inside the abandoned warehouse. Naruto smiles at them. Your training ends now. From now on you are no longer my students. But when the time calls I shall train you once again. For now we must head to Urahara's shop, said Naruto. The two nods. Naruto grabs the two and flames shushens away. The three arrive in the underground basement in front of a giant gate. Uryu, Uruchi and Ichigo standing together. Only 6, said Naruto, a bit disappointed with the numbers. Naruto starts doing hand signs. Arc summoning. Death Knights, whispered Naruto before slamming his palm on the ground. From the ground rise 5 black coffins with the numbers 13 to 11, while the 4th and 5th coffin have the numbers 3 and 6. The coffins open to reveal 3 men and 2 women. Both women are tall and slender. They wear black armor with a black Zanpukto on their backs with a black shield. The men wear the same black armor and shield with a black claymore on their backs. My Death Knight's pleasure, said Naruto. The 4 black soldiers bow to their master. Naruto-sama, why have you summoned us, asked the Death Knight from coffin 3, who is the first woman. Bikaru, I have summoned you along with Akito, number 13, Emori, number 12, Yoshihiro, number 11, and Arina, number 6. To be the extra forces in this small army. You're to help us rescue Rukia Kichiki. She is to be executed at the end of the month, so we have 20 days remaining, said Naruto. The 5 Death Knights nod. Everyone just stares. I came across a jutsu that allowed me to summon 13 Black Knights from their slumber. I became their master. Their strength ranges from 1st to 13. The lowest number is the weakest, but Akito is quite strong, I'll tell you that. Hikaru is the 3rd strongest. I came across another scroll too. From learning the jutsu I was able to summon 13 white paladins called Heaven's Paladins. They are the same in rank, said Naruto. Everyone nods as Urahara and Tessai open the gate. Once it opens everyone walks in ready to save Rukia. The Death Knights surround the group with their weapons drawn. A bright light appears as they appear in a town. The town is run down and everyone is wearing rags. In the center is a more beautiful area. Now everyone, we must journey to the center, that is the Sirte, where all the Shinigami live. Right now we are in Rukongai where the normal souls live, said Uruchi. Everyone nods and run off to save Rukia Kichiki from execution. Naruto sighs as the group of 11 prepare to walk into the place called Sirte. When a giant wall appears and surrounds the area. Naruto groans in annoyance. Just as a giant of a man appears wielding an axe. Halt. Only Shinigami or high nobles may enter Sirte, all others must have a pass, said the giant man. And who would you be, my man? For I am Naruto Uzumaki, Namikaze, 6th Hokage of Konohagakure, asked a former Rakudame Hokage, bowing to the man. I am Jidanbu Ikanzaka. Westgate Guardian, said the giant man named Jidanbu. Pleasure. Now if you don't mind could you please open the gate, said Naruto. Everyone stares at him. Sorry, no one but Shinigami or the high nobles are the only ones allowed in Sirte, said Jidanbu. You know you already said that. But that's sad, isn't it, that we're not allowed in? Because now I'm going to have to force you, my good man, said Naruto, drawing his Zanbatsu. The bandages unwrap. Ichigo and the others prepare to help Naruto. But Jidanbu throws his axe into the ground and brings it across. The axe brings up giant walls of earth to block them. We have rules here in Rukongai country, bumpkins. Rule 1, always wash your hand before sitting down to eat. Rule 2, don't eat things that fall on the floor. And Rule 3, battles are fought one-on-one, said Jidanbu. That's fine with me, big boy, said Naruto. Now let's get this fight over and done with. Fine as you wishes, little man s, replied Jidanbu, raising his axe. Naruto puts his Zanbatsu on his back and draws a kunai. Jidanbu brings his axe down. Naruto blocks with his kunai, channeling chakra throughout it. Smoke rises from the force of the attack. Once the smoke clears, Naruto stands. The kunai blocking the axe not even broken. Jidanbu stares in shock as he removes the axe. Naruto puts the kunai away and redraws his Zanbatsu. You survived my first attack, well done. You're the second, but neither you nor he was able to survive my second, said Jidanbu, raising his axe and bringing it down. Naruto blocks it. Jidanbu stares in shock. DRRR. You won't survive my next attack. 10 strike of Jidanbu, shouted Jidanbu, and he brings his axe down and starts attacking at rapid speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 12, 15, 18, 11, 8, shouted Jidanbu, not knowing how to even count to 10. I've never had to count this high before. I must be at 10 already. Then yelled Jidanbu, sending his axe down once more. Naruto yawns in boredom as he blocks each attack. With his Zanbatsu using one arm. WW what, but how no one can withstand my axe, said Jidanbu. Naruto leaps back, cracking his neck in the process. Naruto sighs and releases a hinge on himself. His shirt changes from a t-shirt to a long-sleeved tight black and blood-red one with a skull on the front. His cargo pants become tight and they're white with flames around the legs. His cape becomes a full-on cloak. The cloak is snow white with black and red clouds. On the back, a 9-tailed red-furred fox and a black 10-tailed dragon. The two images look just like Kyuubi and Juubi in their true forms. The cloak sways with the wind. Naruto pulls up his left sleeve, revealing hundreds of tattoos with numbers, letters and words. And he wears a straw hat. Naruto draws blood and swipes it across the tattoos with the kanji for 1H and 2H. In a puff of smoke, 2 puppets appear. Both puppets look exactly like the first and second Hokage. The first Hokage puppet is wearing black shinobi pants, short-sleeved black shirt, Marin battle armor covering his upper body and thighs. The second wore the same, but his armor blue and a white fur neck piece and the Raijin blade in hand. Meet the human puppets of the Shadame and Nidame Hokage. Thanks to Orochimaru removing their organs already, I was able to turn both into human puppets. I did this to honor their memory and so they could have their revenge against Orihime for disturbing their grave, said Naruto. 4 chakra strings fly from his fingers and 2 attach to each puppet. I'm glad Kankuro taught me how to use puppets before he died. Both puppets fly at Jidanbu. From the Shadame Hokage's back, a Zanbatsu appears. The Shadame Hokage grabs it. While Naruto uses the Nidame to channeling chakra into the Raijin, activating it. Naruto has the 2 brothers circle Jidanbu before attacking. Jidanbu pulls out a second axe and starts attacking. Naruto smirks as he draws blood across another tattoo with the kanji Akihide. In a puff of smoke appears a 3 meters tall wooden puppet. The puppet has a normal-sized body. It has 10 angels-like wings on its back. The puppet has 6 arms. Instead of legs, it has 3 scorpions-like metal giant tails tipped with poison. In the first 2 arms at the top are armed with high-power flamethrowers, as strong as a high-level Kaiten. Then the next 2 are kunai launchers and the last 2 shuriken launchers. Its angel-like wings are armed with hundreds of special poison senbon that shoots from the feathers. The poison in the senbons is a special poison that paralyzes the opponent in the joint that it hits. The paralyzing poison will stay in effect for over 24 hours. In its chest is a high-power grenade launcher. Armed with hundreds of 10-way fire bombs. Its mouth is armed with a deadly cell-eating poison. Naruto summons 2 chakra strings to attach to his third puppet. This is the very first puppet I made, Akihide, said Naruto, sending all 3 puppets at Jidanbu. All 3 puppets surround him. The Shadame puppet summons vines to shoot off the ground and grab Jidanbu axes. Akihide stretches its arms to wrap around Jidanbu's body, stopping his movements. The Nidame Hokage forms whips made of water to wrap around Jidanbu's arms and then wrap around the vines. Naruto smirks and runs forward and swings his Zanbatsu with enough force to break the axes, vines and water whips to send Jidanbu flying. Akihide releases its hold and flies over next to Naruto as Jidanbu hits the gate head first. He flips himself up and laughs. You're the first ever to knock me on my behind. But don't think it'll work again. Because another swing of my mighty axes and I'll beat you, said Jidanbu. He then looks at his axes and all that remains at the handles. My axes. You broke them, shouted Jidanbu, breaking down crying. He pounds the ground. My beautiful babies. Sorry, dude. I didn't mean to. I could have broken one and let you keep the other one, said Naruto, trying to apologize. No, don't apologize, even though you're my enemy, you care about me, said Jidanbu, getting rid of his tears. Naruto smiles and draws blood before wiping it across 2 tattoos, causing 2 giant double-bladed battle axes. For breaking your axes you can have them. The person I killed and took them from was quite the foe, said Naruto. Jidanbu breaks down crying. You broke my axes and gave me new ones, even though we're enemies it shows you care, said Jidanbu, holding the new axes and places them on his back. That axes are held up by a titanium chain. Naruto smiles. I have guarded this gate for over 300 years and yet no one has ever beaten me till now. So I shall allow you passage into the Sirte, said Jidanbu, putting his hands under the gate. He grunts as he tries to push it up over, lifting it over his head. So I allow you and your comrades to enter the Sirte. Wait, why are you letting us in, asked Uryu. Well, he's your leader so you all are allowed to enter. Wait, who made him leader, asked Uryu. Suddenly Hikaru appears behind the Quincy with her Zanbatu at his neck. Boy, he is more of a leader than any of you. He has been the Hokage for more than a year. He is a great leader willing to sacrifice himself to protect his people. He even fought against over 300,000 men and women by himself to protect his village, said Hikaru. Uryu nods as she releases her hold and walks over to Naruto. Naruto-sama, we should be going now, said Hikaru. Naruto nods as Jidanbu finishes lifting, but freezes up. There in front of him is a man with silver hair with a mix of purple. His eyes enclosed and slanted with a stupid grin on his face. Wearing the same clothing as Byakuya Kichiki except for the scarf. He draws his Zanpukto that looks like a long dagger. Jidanbu, who's he, asked Naruto. He is the captain of Squad 3, Jin Ichimaru, answered Jidanbu. Jidanbu, being the gate guardian doesn't mean you're supposed to open the gate. He beat me so he earns passage to the Sirte, said Jidanbu. Though if you lose a fight still doesn't mean you open the gate, it just means you're supposed to die, said Jin, as Jidanbu is struck across the left arm, making it drop. The gate falls onto Jidanbu's back, but he holds it. Jidanbu shouted Orihime. Jin turns and walks away before he holds his Zanpukto to the right. Shoot to kill Shinsu, scared spear, shouted Jin. His Ryatsu climbs as his Zanpukto lengthens and flies at Naruto. Hikaru gets in the way and blocks with her Zanbatu. Thank you, Hikaru, but that wasn't necessary. I know, master, but I reacted just in case, replied Hikaru. Naruto nods as Akihide flies past Jidanbu at Jin. The captain smirks as he retracts his Zanpukto and blocks before jumping back. Captain, level my ass, he's weak, said Naruto as he sends Akihide at Jin, who jumps back again. Akihide activates his kunai launchers and fires poison kunai. The poison on the kunai is enough to kill an African elephant in 10 minutes. Jin just stands. If I was you I'd dodge their poison. And it's enough to kill an African elephant in 10 minutes, shouted Naruto. Jin gives of a shocked face as he starts to dodge. Naruto smirks as he uses his remaining 4 fingers to send chakra string to attach to all the kunai before he flicks his finger. The kunai rise into the air before flying at Jin again. Jin starts dodging the kunai again. Naruto smirks as he sends the Hokage brothers in. The 2 Hokages start to battle against Jin with their swords. Jin blocks with his Zanpukto while dodging knives. Naruto sighs as he releases the chakra strings for the kunai. He draws blood and wipes it across the kanji for 3H and 4H. Smoke appears as 2 puppets stand. The first puppet looks exactly like the Sandaime Hokage. Wearing grey battle armor, black shinobi pants and short-sleeved shirt. And the other a puppet of the 4th Hokage. His spiky golden blonde hair, he wears a white t-shirt with black anbu pants with a white cape with a flame design and green jounin vest. But the set is startled Ichigo. These are the human puppet forms of the Sandaime Sarutobi and Yondaime Hokage. Minto Namek is my father. I do this to honor their memories. Sure, I made their corpses into puppets, but this way their memory can live on forever as they help protect their village. But right now that's not the case. Right now they will be used to help stop the execution of Rukia Kichiki, said Naruto, before sending the other 2 Hokages at Jin Ichimaru. I might explain the reasoning behind Naruto using human puppets at the end of the chapter. Just don't be angry. The 4 Hokages and 1 puppet fly around Jin, confusing him. Jin swings his Zanpukto trying to hit on. A Senbon needle hits him in the shoulder, paralyzing it. Jin's left arm stops moving. Jin stares with a smile as his eyes start to open up a bit. The 5 puppets fly backwards before attacking Jin. Akihide launches a barrage of Senbon needles. Jin jumps back as 10 Senbon hit his right leg, paralyzing his leg. Jin rolls to the side to avoid more Senbon needles. But more Shinigami appear behind him. 5 of which wear the same uniform and 1 happens to be Byakuya Kichiki. One of the Shinigami is Renji Aburai. Naruto curses as his puppets retreat. Naruto runs through the gate. He goes to grab Jidanbu, but Jin grins. "Shoot to kill Shinsu," shouted Jin. His Zanpukto extends and gets Jidanbu in the other arm. Naruto curses as Jidanbu is sent flying backwards. The gate comes crashing down. "Oten." "Mud wall," shouted Naruto after performing the necessary hand signs. He then spits mud from his mouth. A wall of mud stops the gate, allowing him and Hikaru to get out. Naruto then uses his Zanbatsu to break the mud wall. The mud wall collapses, causing the gate to come crashing down, destroying the mud completely. Naruto waves to them as the gate hits the ground. Naruto then sighs. "Orihime, get working on Jidanbu, he needs medical attention," commanded Naruto. Orihime nods. "Shunu, am Souten Kissen I reject," said Orihime. A glowing yellow oval appears around Jidanbu's wound and starts to repel all negative energy. This heals the wound. After 3 minutes she starts on the other one. Naruto sighs and summons a bottle of sake. He then notices a crowd around them, then a voice. "Hey, let me through," said the voice of a young boy. I recognize that voice. But from where? Suddenly a little boy appears with black hair. "Hey Chad, over here," said the boy. Chad looks at him along with the others. "It's me, Yuuchi the Kakadial." "Yuuchi Shibata." "Yep," replied Yuuchi. Later that night. The group reside in an old man's house. All but Chad and Ichigo. "Yuuchi, what do you know about the captains?" asked Naruto. The black cat sighs. "The captain of the first squad is also the captain commander. He is Shijikuni Yamamoto Genryusai. His Zanpukto goes by the name of Ryujin Jaka, Flowering Flame Blade. His Zanpukto is always in the form of a walking stick. Yamamoto is the one of the oldest and strongest Shinigami, and his Zanpukto is one of the oldest and strongest fire-based. His Zanpukto's initial release or Shikai is all things in this universe turn to ashes. When he activates his Shikai, his blade melts and he is surrounded by flames. That is all I know." The next captain is Soifin, captain of Squad 2. Her Zanpukto is called Suzumabachi, Hornet. Her Shikai is sting all enemies to death. Her Zanpukto shrinks into a stinger on her middle finger on her right hand. If she stabs someone with her Zanpukto's initial release, a butterfly crest appears on them. If she stabs that place a second time, that person dies. Next is Jin Ichimaru, captain of Squad 3, previous lieutenant of Squad 5. His Zanpukto is Shinsu, Scared Spear. Its Shikai is Shoot to Kill. This allows his Zanpukto to lengthen to be able to attack from great distances. Next is Retsu Anohana of Squad 4. Squad 4 is also the medical and supply division. Retsu has also been a captain longer than most. She is the second longest after the general commander. She is a soft-spoken, polite and caring woman. She rarely shows panic or distress. Even when being intimidated, she is unfailingly polite. Her Zanpukto is called Minazuki, Purify the Flesh. No one knows the command of her initial release, but her Zanpukto turns into a giant flying one-eye manta ray. Next is Aizen Sasu, captain of Squad 5. He is a soft-spoken intellectual Shinigami. He is caring of his subordinates, including his lieutenant, even more sometimes. Kayaka Sagetsu, Mirror Flower Water Moon, its command is Shatter. It is a water-based Zanpukto. That is all I know. Next is Byakuya Kichiki, captain of Squad 6. His Zanpukto is Senbonzakura, Thousand Cherry Blossoms. Its command is Scatter, where the blade will turn into thousands of tiny blades that look like cherry blossoms. His Bankai, the last state of the Zanpukto, is Senbonzakura Kageashi, Thousand Cherry Blossoms Grim Scenery. He is of the noble Kichiki family. He is also one of the strongest captains and brother of Rukia Kichiki. Next is Sajin Kamamura. He is a big man with his face and hands covered. But without them he looks like a fox. His Zanpukto is Tenkin, Heaven's Punishment. Its command is Roar. Tenkin creates various body parts of a giant to copy whatever body part Kamamura moves. For example, should Kamamura swing his sword, a gigantic disembodied arm wielding a sword appears and does the same thing. Its Bankai is Kakiju Tenkin Mayau, Divine Retribution, Black Ropes of Ruination. His Bankai summons the entire giant and copies Sajin's movements. Next is Shunsui Kairaku, is a laid-back and flamboyant man, evident in his style of dress and general attitude. He wears a straw hat and a pink-flowered haori over his captain's uniform. Although his haori and obi sash are cheap, his pinwheel hairpin is very expensive. He likes to chase after women. His Zanpukto is unique as it's seen as a Daisho sword pair. Its name is Kaiten Kayakatsu, Flower Heaven Crazy Bone. Its command is Flowers are disturbed, God of Flowers weeps, Winds of Heaven are disturbed, Demon of Heaven laughs. The Daisho sword pair transforms into two large scimitars or falchions. Next is Kanam Tausen. He is blind yet strong and is captain of Squad 9. His Zanpukto is Suzumashi, Bell Bug. Its command is Cry. This allows it to generate a high-pitched sound around the area. Its next command is Smash his limbs, which changes Suzumashi into its Benihaku form, Crimson Flying Lotus. Suzumashi vibrates momentarily and, after Tausen moves the blade around him in a circle, a trail appears from the sword's path. The trail turns into hundreds of blades that rain down on his opponents. Its Bankai is Enma Kurogi, Field Lotus. Creates a large black dome centered at Tausen's location and anchored to the ground with 10 rings. Anyone within the dome loses the ability to sense anything around them. Next is Taoshiru Hetsugaya, captain of Squad 10. His Zanpukto is Hyarin Meru and it's an ice-based Zanpukto. Its command is Sit upon the frozen heavens. Hyarin Meru itself remains the same but gains a crescent-shaped blade attached to the hilt by a chain. Hyarin Meru allows Hitsugaya to control water and ice. The slashes created by Hyarin Meru gives off an immense amount of spirit power which overflows from the tip of the blade, creating a flow of ice vaguely shaped like Hyarin Meru's dragon spear. The dragon flies at opponents and instantly freezes anything it touches. The chain blade also freezes anything Hitsugaya traps with it. Its Bankai is Daiguren Hyarin Meru, Great Crimson Lotus Ice Ring. Causes ice to flow from Hyarin Meru onto Hitsugaya, forming into 2 large wings and a tail. The ice also forms into a dragon's head around his sword hand, encasing it up to the hilt, which is in the shape of an 8-pointed star. His left arm is covered fully until the wrist where it then spans into claws, leaving his hand and fingers free. Hitsugaya's feet are encased in ice in a similar manner to his right hand. Additionally, his wings are capable of folding around him to serve as ice shields. The wings can be used by Hitsugaya to fly. 3 flowers of ice, shaped similarly to the lotus-shaped guard of his Zanpukto, are also created behind Hitsugaya with 4 petals each, which melt away as Hitsugaya attacks. Hyarin Meru also has 2 special techniques, but I won't go into detail. Next is Kenpachi Zaraki, captain of Squad 11. There's not much known about his Zanpukto because he doesn't know its name and only thinks of it as a tool. Next is Mayuri Kuritsuchi, captain of Squad 12. He's a scientist and is a freak of a man. His Zanpukto is Ashisogi Jizu, Xidigarba's killer head. I don't know much about the man you see. Urahara would know more than me. I never liked the guy you see. Next is Yushiro Yukitake, captain of Squad 13. He has sickly looking man with long white hair. Saojo no Kodaari, law of the twin fish. Its command is wave become my shield, thunder become my blade. This causes his Zanpukto to split into 2 thin blades resembling fishing javelins, with a reversed prong blade on the dull end. The 2 swords are connected by a cord, which is lined with several small charms. His lieutenant died ages back. That's all I can give you. I'd give you more, but yes, said Yuruchi. Naruto nods. Question: how come you said with captain of Squad 12 you never liked the guy? When you don't know him but then again you never did say that, asked Naruto. I and Urahara used to be Shinigami. He was the previous captain of Squad 12 and I was the previous captain of Squad 2, said Yuruchi. Naruto nods as Chat and Ichigo walk in. So may I ask where Kukaku Shiba lives, asked Yuruchi. You want to get into Sarate that way, asked the old man. Yuruchi nods. You're mad. Suddenly the sound of a stampede is heard. Suddenly a man is sent flying through the door. He wears a white t-shirt and white pants with a black vest and a bandana with goggles on his head. Anyone know who this guy is, said Ichigo as a boar appears. Huh, what's a boar doing here? Banju, what are you doing here? I think you should go home. That's how you greet an old friend. Besides, what are your guests going to think, asked Ganju when he looks at Ichigo. So anyone mind telling me why there's a stinking Shinigami here? Huh? Didn't you hear me? I said why is there a stinking Shinigami here, said Ganju face to face with Ichigo, slapping him softly on the face. Haha. Ganju grabs his chin and stares at him only to be punched and sent flying. Hey, what are you trying to do? You trying to pick a fight with me? Technically you were picking a fight with him, said Naruto. Who are you anyway, asked Naruto. You really don't know who I am? No, not really, said Uryu. I don't either, said Orihime. Same, said Chad and Naruto. I don't care, said Ichigo. Then that settles it, let me introduce myself. My given name is Ganju, self-proclaimed Deepin Bull of West Rukin and self-proclaimed but universally acknowledged boss man of West Rukin. And finally self-proclaimed #1 Shinigami hater. Self-proclaimed, said Orihime, Chad and Uryu. More like self-proclaimed idiot of West Rukin, said Naruto. Ganju glares at him. What, you picking a fight with me, asked Ganju. Naruto lifts up his straw hat. His eyes are blood red with black cat-like slit for pupils. His eyes are full of bloodlust and anger. Ganju looks him in the eyes and is trapped in a genjutsu. Leaves swirl around Ganju as the old man has kunai and shuriken along with katana stuck in his body. Ganju, it's your fault I'm dead, said the old man as Naruto stands behind him with his zanbatsu in hand. He slices the man in half as a giant black 10-tailed dragon and blood-red 9-tailed fox appear behind him. Ganju screams like a girl in the real world before he collapses. Naruto sighs and releases the genjutsu. Ganju awakes a minute later panting and sweating. Naruto smiles. Like my little illusion, asked the Rakudame Hokage. Ganju glares daggers at him when a clock goes off. Boss, it's 9 o'clock, said a man in boxer shorts out of nowhere riding a boar. What, shouted Ganju before he whistles and a boar appears. Ganju gets on the boar and rides off with his gang. Everyone's sweat drops. Anyway, Orochi, tell me the weakness of each captain, said Naruto. Fine. Well, you know Shunsui Kairaku weakness is woman, but especially his lieutenant Nanao Ice. Captain Hitsugaya's weakness is Momo Hinamori, lieutenant of Squad 5. They were friends before they became Shinigami, and his lieutenant Ranjiku Matsumoto. Aizen is Momo. Retsu Anohana would be her lieutenant, Hinata Yamada, the 7th seat of the 4th division, and any other Shinigami. Byakuya would be his dead wife, so that's gone. Sajin would be his lieutenant, and Tausen is the same probably. Kenpachi Zaraki would be his lieutenant. She's like a daughter to him, but he doesn't show it. I'm not sure about Squad 12 captain. I know Jushiro Yukite's weakness would be his squad members and Rukia. I know the lieutenants as well. Renji's is Rukia, Momo and Kira of Squad 3. Momo Hinamori, her weakness is Aizen, Renji, Rukia, Kira and Taoshiru. Nemu Kuritsuchi would be her father Mayuri Kuritsuchi, after all he did make her. Yuichiro Kusajishi, lieutenant of Squad 11, would be Kenpachi Zaraki. Ranjiku Matsumoto, her captain and friends, which would be Momo, Kira, Rukia, Renji, Shuhei of Squad 9. Shuhei, lieutenant of Squad 9, I'm not sure. Nanao Ice would be her captain. Tetsuzumi Iba, lieutenant of Squad 7, his is Sake and his captain probably. Isane Katetsu, lieutenant of Squad 4, her weakness is her captain and her little sister Kiin Katetsu of Squad 13. Kira Izuru, his weakness is his captain and Momo. That's all I know. Thank you. Now I'll be able to hit them where it hurts. Though the others I could perform high-level genjutsus on, said Naruto before he starts to think of ways to torture the Shinigami. His death knights stand out around him as he thinks. This Mayuri Kuritsuchi, I could probably send him through the first 5 or more levels of hell. Naruto gives of a sadistic grin, scaring everyone but his death knights. Naruto sighs as he talks to Orochi. Orochi, if you please, could you tell me what each lieutenant and captain wear and what they look like? Along with the names of all the lieutenants and their Zanpuktos, asked Naruto while taking a sip of sake. Alright. Fist, I'll start with Yushiro Yukite. He has long white hair and a sickly face. He wears the normal uniform of a captain. Next, Mayuri Kuritsuchi. He wears a bloated purple cravat and various strange headpieces. His Zanpukto is at the middle of his waist. Next, Kenpachi Zaraki, a giant well-built man with a jagged Zanpukto. He has shredded edge Haori. Taoshiru Hitsugaya looks like a kid in his teens. He has white hair. He wears a green sash pinned with a star around his shoulder to hold his sword. Kanam Tausen wears an orange scarf with his outfit, a sleeveless Kokogi as well as white boots. Shunsui Kairaku, like I said before, he wears a straw hat and a pink flowered Haori over his captain's uniform with hairpins in his hair. Sajin Kamamura is a giant man. He wears a helmet to cover his head. He has shoulder guards over his Haori and large gloves which go up to his arms. You've already seen Byakuya Kichiki. Next is Aizen Sasuke. He wears the normal captain uniform, but he wears glasses. Next, Retsu Anohana, her obi sash is different from the normal one. She has black hair. You've seen Jinichimaru. So next is Soifun. She wears a sleeveless and backless Shinigami uniform under his Haori. She also wears a yellow sash a layer above, but slightly lower than her white one. Her Zanpukto is across her back. Next, Yamamoto. He is an old man and wears the normal uniform. Yamamoto's lieutenant is Chojuru Sasuke. His Zanpukto is Gonryumaru, stern-speared. Its initial release, it bite, making his Zanpukto turn into a rapier. He wears a Jinbei Ori over his normal uniform. Next is Morechi Uemita, lieutenant of Squad 2. He is a big man with an equally big mouth and is always eating rice crackers. His Zanpukto is Yujetsuburi, 5 heads. Its command is raise your head, making it transforming in a giant spiked ball and chain. The Yujetsuburi Shikai is extremely weak. If you punch it, then it will break. Next is Kira Izuru, lieutenant of Squad 3. His Zanpukto is Wabasuke, miserable men. Its command is raise your head, making it bend into a square hook. I don't know much about its ability though. Lieutenant of Squad 4 Isane Katetsu, her Zanpukto is Idagumo, frozen snow. Its command is run. The guard is shaped like a snowflake. When its Shikai is activated, 2 smaller blades protrude from Idagumo's hilt at 45 degrees angles. I don't know much more. I never paid much attention to the 4th squad. But Isane has light bluish hair. Anyway, next is Momo Hinamori, Squad 5. Her Zanpukto is Tobium, flying plum tree, and its command is snap. Naruto sweat drops at the name. When its Shikai is activated, Tobium's blade straightens and produces several jet-like prongs along its length. In this form, Tobium acts as a focus for Hinamori's spiritual power, concentrating it into energy bursts capable of cratering floors and breaching walls. Hinamori can also compress her power into massive energy balls and toss them from the blade's tip. She has purple hair in the form of a bun with a cloth wrapped around it. Next is Renji Aburai, and his Zanpukto is Abimaru, snake tail. Its command is roar, and it becomes a segmented blade connected by a stretchable thread. His Zanpukto has 3 initial attacks before it has to return. It's Suzuman Iba. I don't have any information on him, except he is the lieutenant of Squad 7 and has a mustache. Next is Nanao Ice, lieutenant of Squad 8. She wears glasses and always has a book with her. Her Zanpukto is very rarely seen, so no one but her captain knows much about it. Next is Shuhei Hisagi. He wears a sleeveless Kokogi and black choker with tattoos on his body. He has a tattoo with the kanji 69 on the left side of his face. Next is lieutenant of Squad 10 Ranjiku Matsumoto. She has long orange hair. His Zanpukto is called Hineko, Ash Cat. Its command is Growl. Hineko then turns to Ash and will cut its opponents. She wears a top that is deliberately loose and hangs open to reveal her ample bosom. She also wears a pink scarf and wears her lieutenant's badge around her waist with her sash tied in a bow. Next is Yuichiro Kusajishi. She has pink hair and is small. She is always on Kenpachi's left shoulder. She may be small but is incredible fast and strong. I know nothing of her Zanpukto. Next is Nemu Kuritsuchi. I know nothing of her Zanpukto, though she is the lieutenant of Squad 12 and is a creation of Mayuri. She has a much abbreviated outfit of the Shinigami uniform. The hakama is absent, leaving her with a miniskirt version of the kimono that is belted at the waist. That is all, since the lieutenant of Squad 13 died years ago. But there are more rankings. You have the captain, then the lieutenant. After that is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th seat, answered Yoruichi. Naruto nods. The blonde Hokage then walks out of the house. Alright Ichigo, Chad, Orihime, Uryu and Yoruichi, you find this Kuakaku Shibi person and get inside Sirite Hiway. I'll find my own way in. Hikaru, Harina, Yoshihiro, Imori and Akito, let's go, commanded Naruto before running off to the wall, with his Death Knights following behind him. The others just sit and stare as a dust cloud kicks up from behind. Naruto sighs as he continues to run, drawing blood and performing some hand signs. Once he reaches the gate, he calls out his jutsu. Fuchius no Jutsu Ryu, whispered Naruto before slamming his palm on the ground. Smoke rises as the long form of a black dragon with yellow eyes is in the smoke. Once it clears, there stands Mangetsu. His height makes him taller than the gate. Naruto-sama, why have you summoned me, asked Mangetsu. Mangetsu, I need you to open the gate. I would shushin in, but I need to save my chakra for later, answered Naruto, pointing to the Hakuto West gate. Mangetsu nods and shoves his claws under. Mangetsu then pulls up the gate with full force. Naruto thanks him before him and his Death Knight step in. Mangetsu goes up in smoke and the gate closes. Okay Arina, you take Akito and Imori and head out to take care of any Shinigami you see, but don't kill them. Yoshihiro and Hikaru, you two will find Rukia's cell and break her out. While I force the captains to surrender, declared Naruto. Hi Naruto-sama, said the 5 Death Knights before they disappear. Naruto smirks and runs off at full speed. He jumps onto a roof but stops when he sees 2 female Shinigami. That looks exactly like Ranjiku Matsumoto and Momo Hinamori. Well, if it isn't my lucky day. I can take out these 2 lieutenants first, thought Naruto before he jumps down into the shadows. Naruto then walks over to the 2 lieutenants and walks out. Hello lady, said Naruto. The 2 look at Naruto with their Zanpuktos drawn. Who are you, demands Ranjiku. Haha, you are in no position to demand anything, Matsumoto-chan, said Naruto in a cold, emotionless voice. He then goes to his kunai holster. The 2 prepare themselves. Naruto then pulls out a stick of Pocky Mizo ramen flavored the 2 face vault. Naruto then starts chewing. Once he's done and the 2 are standing, he appears in front of Ranjiku. He pulls up his straw hat. She stares in his eyes, which become blood red with black cat-like slits for pupils. Look into me eyes, whispered Naruto. She continues to until she notices she is tied to a cross. Naruto stands in front of her. You shall be stuck in my world for 72 hours. Which of the first 24 I shall torture you by stabbing and cutting you, repeatedly declared Naruto before he summons a katana out of thin air and starts stabbing and cutting her. This goes on for 2 hours before Naruto speaks. 71 hours 59 minutes and 58 seconds remaining, said Naruto. He continues to torture her. First she doesn't make a sound, but after 5 more hours, which is only 5 seconds, she starts whimpering before she starts yelling, then screaming while crying. 48 hours remaining. For the next 24 hours I shall poison you with a special poison that destroys your cells and organs, said Naruto, before pulling out 5 senbon needles before he throws them into her arms. Naruto then throws more and more. The poison burns her cells and organs, making her scream in pain as tears roll down her face. 47 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds, said Naruto. He continues to do this for 24 hours. For the last 24 hours you will watch as I kill Hinamori-chan over and over again, said Naruto. An image of Momo appears in front of Ranjiku tied to a cross. Naruto draws his Zanbatsu and starts cutting her, making Momo scream. Ranjiku yells at Naruto to stop. She looks away, but a clone appears behind her and makes her watch with a hand covering her mouth. 23 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds remaining, said Naruto. Ranjiku starts breaking down even more. The tears coming in streams now. She stares and stares with fear. After the time is finished they appear in the real world where only 3 seconds have passed. Ranjiku collapses onto the ground and gets into a fetal position, crying her eyes out. She shivers with fear as Naruto places a jutsu on her, making her relive all the memories over and over. A small fox appears on Ranjiku's forehead. Momo quickly runs next to her friend. "What did you do?" shouted Momo with tears. Naruto appears in front of her. "You really want to know? How about I show you?" said Naruto. Suddenly he transports Momo to the same world. She is tied to a cross as Naruto appears in front of her. "For 72 hours I shall be torturing you. For the first 24 I shall burn you alive over and over," said Naruto before he starts using Kaiten jutsus on Momo. After 5 fours she breaks. 71 hours 59 minutes and 55 seconds remaining, said Naruto as he continues to burn her. Momo breaks into a full-on crying session. "I really don't want to do this, but it's the only way. If I do this to the lieutenants and the captains, then the Shinigami will be forced to release Rukia and not attack the others. If I make a deal saying I'll heal them, which I will, but I'll set it up as a trap just in case." Naruto continues this till the first 24 are up. 48 hours left. "For the next 24 I shall be breaking every bone in your body over and over again," said Naruto as he starts using Tsunade's strength to break ribs, arms and legs and many other bones. Momo screams in pain as her bones are broken. Naruto sighs as he continues this for the next 24 hours. "For the last 24 hours you shall watch as I kill Matsumoto-chan over and over," said Naruto as a frightened Ranjiku appears on a cross tied to it. Nails in her hands as well as in her feet. Naruto smirks as he turns to Momo and he then hammers nails into her hands and feet. Momo screams in pain. Naruto sighs before he turns to Ranjiku. He draws his Zanpukto and starts cutting her over and over. Ranjiku screams in pain with tears flowing down her face. Momo goes to turn away, but a clone grabs her head and forces her to watch as another place a hand over her mouth. After those 24 hours the two appear in the real world. Momo collapses and gets into a fetal position. Naruto sighs and takes their Zanpukto, stopping them from committing suicide. Naruto then uses the same jutsu he used on Ranjiku to make Momo relive the memories as a small fox appears on her forehead as well. "Please don't flame me for making Naruto do this. But you can if you strongly reject this." Naruto sighs and lets off a flash bomb. The bomb goes off, creating a bright flash of light. This alerts every Shinigami in Sarate. Everyone, captain and lieutenant, even the regular Shinigami. Everyone that sees the flash goes running to the area. Naruto sits and waits in the shadows. Naruto waits for 5 minutes when a giant man wearing a helmet with the captain's uniform appears. He fits the exact profile of Sajin Kamamura. "Ranjiku Matsumoto and Momo Hinamori, what happened?" asked the giant man, kneeling down to look at the two women. Naruto steps out of the shadows. "Me." Sajin looks at Naruto and glares daggers, revealing yellow eyes with black cat-like slits for pupils. "You're one of the Ryoka." "Correct, Fox Man," said Naruto. Sajin stares at Naruto. "If I was you I'd take them to see a doctor. And you might as well take me to your leader so I can form an arrangement between us," said Naruto. Sajin stares at Naruto as more Shinigami who are not a captain or lieutenant. "Either do what I asked, Captain Kamamura, or else all these Shinigami behind you will be dead. And it'll be on your conscience," said Naruto with a smirk. "You know what I did to Jin Ichimura, right?" "Yes I do, I saw you fighting him." "Yes, and I could have killed him if I wanted to. Now this is your second warning, do as I asked or I'll kill every single Shinigami here. I won't ask you a third time." "Fine," said Sajin just as Renji arrives. "Captain Kamamura, what's going on?" Renji then looks at Momo and Ranjiku, his eyes widen with shock. "Well, if it isn't Aburai-san." Renji stares at Naruto. "You? My name's Naruto, not you." "What did you do to them?" demanded Renji as he draws Abamera releasing its Shikai. "I placed them under a very strong illusion that causes mental trauma, very bad mental trauma," replied Naruto. "Now Captain Kamamura, let go." Sajin nods and walks off. Naruto follows after him before he calls to Renji, "Aburai-san, you better get them to a medic for now." Renji stares as the captain and Ryoka leave. The two arrive at Squad 1's base. The two walk inside where the captain commander is. "Sajin, why is there a Ryoka here?" demanded Yamamoto. "Forgive me, sir, but he forced me, saying if I did not, he would kill every Shinigami near me at the time, which was over 100. He wants to make a deal," replied Sajin. Everyone stares. "Yes, but I can't make this deal in front of just two. I want all the captains along with their lieutenants and their seated officers being the 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th seats," demanded Naruto. "What, how dare you demand from me?" shouted Yamamoto. Naruto grins. "Guess what, I'm not the real Naruto either. During the walk here I replaced myself with a shadow clone." "Don't bluff, boy," said Yamamoto. Naruto sighs and stabs himself with a kunai. He then goes up and smoke. Once the smoke clears, there's no one there. The two captains stare and when from the shadows another Naruto appears. I to be a shadow clone. So unless you bring all the captains, lieutenants along with the 3rd, 4th and 5th seats of each squad. Then I will torture a lot more of your Shinigami, said Naruto. Sajin, go gather the others, commanded Yamamoto. Sajin nods and leaves. Naruto sighs and walks up a wall and sits on the top, shocking the captain commander. 10 minutes later very captain, 3rd, 4th, 5th and every lieutenant except Ranjiku and Momo arrive. Naruto jumps down from the roof. But now I can contact my master, said the clone before he goes up in smoke. Suddenly a giant water dragon bursts through a wall, creating a giant hole in one wall and on another at the other side of the room. Naruto walks in with his straw hat covering his face. Let's get this deal over with or I'll kill or torture every Shinigami in this room. Everyone has a weakness and I exploit that weakness, said Naruto as he shushens behind Retsu Anohana, who is unfazed. Even you, Retsu Anohana, captain of Squad 4 Zanpukto Minazuki, turns into a giant flying one-eyed manta ray. You are also one of the few Shinigami who has been a captain for the longest amount of time. Even you have a weakness, said Naruto, taking of his hat and stares her in the eyes. His cerulean blue eyes become blood red with black cat-like slits for pupils. His eyes are full of anger and bloodlust before they change back to his cerulean blue ones. Even the great Kenpachi Zaraki has a weakness. Everyone stares at the blonde Hokage as he disappears and appears behind the lieutenant of Squad 8. His Zanbatsu at her throat. She stares at the blade. Everyone stares when Renji takes action. Roars Abimaru, shouted Renji, sending his Zanpukto flying at Naruto. Naruto laughs and turns into flower petals that spin around Renji before flying next to Byakuya Kichiki and reform into Naruto. Byakuya Kichiki, brother of Rukia Kichiki. Zanpukto Senbonzakura, command scatter. Bankai Senbonzakura Kageashi, said Naruto before he appears next to Taoshiru Hetsugaya, who glares daggers at Naruto. Taoshiru Hetsugaya, captain of Squad 10 and captain of Ranjiku Matsumoto. Zanpukto Hyarinmaru, command sit upon the frozen heavens. Bankai Daiguren Hyarinmaru. A water and ice-based Zanpukto. Spirit is a dragon. Longtime friend of Momo Hinamori of Squad 5, said Naruto. Taoshiru releases his spiritual pressure which doesn't affect Naruto. Are you angry about what I did to Matsumoto-chan and Hinamori-chan? I can heal them if you want, or maybe you want me to torture them more. Taoshiru glares at Naruto and attacks, releasing his Shikai, sending a giant ice dragon at the blonde. Naruto grins and appears behind Taoshiru with his back turned and Zanbatsu in hand. Suddenly blood sprays from Taoshiru's shoulders. Everyone stares in shock. I didn't even see his movements, thought Byakuya Kichiki. He injured a captain without us even seeing him move, said Lieutenant Izuru of Squad 3. Now old man Yamamoto, let's make this deal, said Naruto with a hidden smirk. While I'm distracting the captains and lieutenants, my Death Knights are freeing Rukia and knocking out their forces. Plus this deal will allow us to freely leave Sirte and Soul Society. We'll make this deal as long as you attack no more Shinigami. Fine, but if they attack me I can use self-defense, said Naruto. Yamamoto nods. Now I ask that you allow me and my comrades to leave with Rukia unharmed. And you must give us a way to go back to the world of the living. And no Shinigami are allowed to follow. If a Shinigami attacks me or my comrades, we will kill them. Another is if Rukia is hurt, then I will kill one captain or lieutenant as I see fit. If you allow these demands, I'll heal Hinamori-chan and Matsumoto-chan from the mental trauma I gave them. And I'll stop the jutsu that makes them relive the memory, and I'll destroy the memory of their torture. Also, if any of your Shinigami, no matter what the rank, says the word Ryoka or suggests you are not comply with my demands, let just say something bad will happen, said Naruto. Everyone stares at Naruto, who smirks under his mask. That's outrageous, we will not comply with this Ryoka. Besides, he doesn't even have the power to back up his threat, said the captain of Squad 2 Soifun. Moron, whispered Naruto before he appears behind Isane Katetsu. He stares into her eyes and transports her to his world. The lieutenant of Squad 4 is tied to a cross by ninja wire. For the next 72 hours I shall be torturing you. For the first 24 I shall repeatedly throw shuriken, kunai and senbon needles into your body, said Naruto as he draws 8 senbon and throws them at her. 1 hit each shoulder and leg. While the other 4 get her in the chest. Those senbons will paralyze your body. Though unlike most paralyzing poisons, you will continue to feel pain as I throw my ninja tools into your body. Also, the poison increases the pain by 10-fold. Naruto grins as he pulls out a shuriken and throws it. The shuriken multiplies thanks to Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. The 1 becomes 100. The shuriken ripped through her uniform. Shuriken ripped through tendons, cutting flesh. Her blood sprays everywhere. Isane screams in pain. Naruto smirks and walks up to her. He pulls out a kunai and stabs her in the shoulder and twists it. She screams in pain as tears flow down her face. These Shinigami women are easy to break. Unlike Kunoichi, thought Naruto. This goes on for the next 24 hours as Naruto throws his tools and stabs her. 48 hours remaining for the next 24 hours, I shall torture you with rusty hooks, said Naruto, as hundreds of rusty hooks appear. He grabs one and puts it through her hand, making her scream. Naruto puts on in her back and one in her thigh. Naruto sighs as he continues this for the next 24 hours. Even at one stage he pulled out a scalpel and cut her up with it. We're done with the physical torture, now the mental. You shall watch as I kill your sister over and over, said Naruto. Behind him appears a young girl with gloves on her hands nailed to a cross. Kiin shouted, "Isane." A clone appears behind her, making her watch and covers her mouth. Naruto starts putting rusty hooks, shuriken, senbons and kunai in her sister, then he starts cutting her, burning her alive, and poisons her along with punching and kicking her, which break her bones for 24 hours. This last process makes Isane completely break as Naruto places the same jutsu on her, making her relive these memories. Naruto exits the mind. A small fox appears on Isane's forehead. Isane then collapses and gets into the fetal position. Shivering with fear and crying. She screams over and over. Kiin runs over to her sister and stares with shock. "What did you do to her?" shouted Kiin. "You really want to know? I tortured her in the mind for 72 hours. For the first 24 I stabbed her with kunai, shuriken and senbon needles. I even threw them. I used a special paralyzing poison that increased the pain by tenfold. Then the next 24 hours I put rusty hooks in her and cut her up with a scalpel. Then the last 24 I made her witness as I tortured her own sister with rusty hooks, kunai, senbon, shuriken, burned you alive, cutting you and poison you as well, along with punching and kicking, breaking your bones. Then I killed the fake image. But to her it was real. Then I used a jutsu that made her relive every moment. And only I can break the jutsu and heal her of the mental trauma. If I was you I'd take her Zanpukto away before she commits suicide, replied Naruto. Isane goes to grab her Zanpukto, but Kiin takes it from her sister and throws it away. Soifin, captain of Squad 2. I do have the power to back up my threats. So if I was you I'd shut up because my next target is you. Then Kiin and then Nanao ice. Nanao freezes up at his word, same as Soifin. Kiin stares in fear at him. Why are you attacking the women, asked Tausen. Because their minds are the easiest to break, replied Naruto before he appears behind Kiin. Kiin backs up a bit. Naruto laughs. So do we have a deal, Yamamoto, asked Naruto. Yamamoto sighs. Fine, said Yamamoto. Naruto smirks and pulls out a scroll. Then all you have to do is sign this along with every other captain and everyone else in this room as witness except Isane. Because this contract only needs 26 signatures to be legally binding. And since there's more than 4 times that amount in good, Naruto smirks as he pulls out a scroll and summons a small desk with a pen. Everyone walks over and signs it. This process takes 10 minutes. Naruto smiles and takes the contract and reads it over before smiling again. He walks over to Isane and starts doing hand signs. 5 stars memory seal, whispered Naruto before his hand glows blue. He slams his palm into Isane's forehead, making a 5-star seal appear, but it disappears a second later. Naruto then starts more hand signs, mystical healing palm mind. Naruto's palms glow green as he holds them above her forehead. Naruto stops and starts doing more hand signs, repeating mental disturbance kitsune seal release. Suddenly the small fox starts to disappear. Isane gasps and slowly while shaking she stands panting and sweating. Sister, said Kiin, hugging her sister with tears. Now if you don't mind I'll be leaving to heal the others, then I'm going to grab Rukia and leave Sirite. And I expect the portal open in 3 days, said Naruto before going up in flames. He appears in Squad 4's base next to Ranjiku and Momo. Naruto then performs the same jutsus on the two. It makes the fox disappear and places a 5-star seal on their forehead. Naruto places their Zanpuktos next to a wall. Naruto sighs and goes up in flames again. Naruto appears at the west gate and finds his death knights there. Naruto smirks as he sees Rukia. She stares at Naruto when Byakuya appears along with the other captains, and their lieutenants appear. What the hell are you doing here, asked Naruto. Suddenly Byakuya holds up the contract and rips it in two. We don't make deals with Ryoka, hand over Rukia, and we won't kill you or your comrades. Which I believe more are in Rukongai, said Byakuya. Naruto sighs. I thought something like this might happen. That's why I place an inferior seal on those 3 lieutenants, said Naruto before performing the hand signs snake, tiger and ram. 5 stars memory seal break. Repeating mental disturbance kitsune seal activate, mystical healing palm mind break, shouted Naruto. Suddenly Isane suddenly falls to the ground as the small fox appears on her forehead. The 5-star seal also breaks as the memories of being tortured flood through her head. She collapses onto the ground shaking with fear. Oh, and I left Momo and Ranjiku Zanpuktos next to a wall in their room. So if I was you I'd go stop them from killing themselves, said Naruto. Taoshiro then disappears along with Aizen Sasuke to stop their lieutenants. Retsu takes her Lieutenant Zanpukto away. Now who should I torture next, asked Naruto as Kiin appears. Naruto smirks as Yushiro Yukitake goes to take her away. Naruto appears in front of her preparing hand signs. Akuanju no Jutsu journey into black darkness, shouted Naruto. Darkness consumes the captains and lieutenants. Naruto turns to Kiin and grins. He then starts performing more hand signs. Kitsune. Meijin no Jutsu, fox style. Demonic illusion, whispered Naruto. Suddenly Kiin is consumed by darkness. Isane appears in front of her, nailed to a cross. Azambatu appears in front of Kiin, who grabs it. Kiin's body suddenly walks forward and starts cutting and stabbing Isane, making her scream in pain. Kiin starts crying as she tries to stop herself. Soon the image disappears and the Kyuubi in her true form appears in front of Kiin and starts ripping her apart slowly. Kiin screams in pain. The image starts to fade and she appears in the real world. Kiin collapses, panting and sweating, gasping for air. Kiin stares at Naruto, who stares at her before he dissolves into flower petals and appears behind her. Naruto then uses the chakra scalpels and cuts her tendons along with cutting her nervous system. Naruto then knocks her out. He releases his genjutsu on the captains and lieutenants. Kiin shouted, Yukitake. Naruto smirks and appears next to his death knights. He prepares to leave only to be surrounded by flames. Byakuya appears and grabs Rukia before appearing outside the flames. Naruto sighs and starts doing the hand signs for Great Giant Grand Water Dragon. Suiton. Great Giant Grand Water Dragon Jutsu, shouted Naruto, summoning a giant water dragon the size of 3 skyscrapers. The water dragon flies through the flames at the captains and lieutenants. They all jump to the side to avoid the giant water dragon. The giant dragon collides with building after building before flying back at them. Scatter Sanbon-sakura, said Byakuya before his blade disappears and turns into thousands of sakura blossoms. The blossoms wrap around the dragon and tries to cut it to pieces, but the dragon consumes the petals, which disperse and form back into Byakuya's Zanpukto. The giant dragon is then consumed in flames, causing steam to rise. The dragon disappears. Naruto sighs and appears next to Retsu Anohana and knocks her out, then appears next to Nemu Kuretsuchi and does the same. If you won't meet my demands, then I'll just do a kidnapping, said Naruto before he grabs Retsu and Nemu. Harina grabs Kiin and Isane. The two walk to the Hakuto gate. Naruto hands Retsu to Akito and Nemu to Amori. Suddenly Yoshihiro appears next to Nanao. He knocks her out and grabs her and appears next to Naruto. Hikaru, go grab Hinamori-chan and Matsumoto-chan, said Naruto. Hikaru nods and shushens away. Seconds later, she reappears with Momo Hinamori and Ranjiku Matsumoto, both out cold, and on her back are their Zanpuktos. If you want these 7 back, then you will meet my demands. Or else I'll torture them to the brink of death, said Naruto before he flame shushens away laughing, while his death knights leave shushen away. The captains and lieutenants curse at the loss of 5 lieutenants, a 3rd seat and a captain. Meanwhile, Naruto's laughter is heard throughout Soul Society. Thanks for watching this video. If you really enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. Don't forget to support and follow the Tankerman for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story, link in the description. See you in the next video. Goodbye.